All right, people, it's Friday night again, and it is April 24th, 2020. I'm Rusty, and I'm your host here on the Stunthangar video hangout, where we talk about aeromodeling, control line, RC, if you wish, just about anything else you like to play with in your shop with screwdrivers and hammers and whatever. And we try to keep it family friendly, family room friendly, and just, try to do the best you can with that so we don't get any dings and demonetization from YouTube. And the links are posted in the usual places, which are in the um, At the Bench thread on the Stunt Hanger forums. And those of you who are looking for it right now, it's not there yet. I'll wait until my introduction and I will post it because I've lately been having people piling in while I'm doing this and it distracts me. I don't multitask well. So, um, to keep me from stumbling any worse than I already do over my words, just delay that for a moment. So, anyway, in the At the Bench thread, you'll find the link to tonight's show, and that's on stunthanger.com. And on that page is the main forums. And if you scroll down below the open forums, where most people usually hang out, you'll see another forum called live streams. And in that is a thread called At the Bench. And the first post you will see pop up in just a moment is the one that contains the title to the show, contains the date of today. And it will have the link, the first link after Rusty is inviting you to a show. The first link is the one to click. And that's what a phone or a tablet or a PC computer. And if you have any problem with that, go over to the YouTube page and text me a question and I'll help you get in live. And if you prefer to surf and watch us in anonymity on YouTube, go to the Stunt Hanger YouTube channel and you can watch us there. And there's a text chat box that you can post any comments, questions, opinions, and anything else you bring to the party. And we'll try to incorporate it when relevant into our conversations here on the live side. And with that being said, I'll go over now and post the links. And in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bingo! The link is posted in the At the Bench thread. So if you click that one that says underneath "Join the meeting," then you'll be able to come in here with your camera and microphone. And like I said, if you have any other problems, just go over to the Stunthanger YouTube channel and type in your problem, and we'll try to get you hooked up. I checked our bandwidth before I started the show tonight, and it looks pretty sad. Um, about 50 megabits, 30 to 50 megabits was all I was getting. I usually get about 100, but I checked it with all of these tabs open, so that might have been what it was. Turning off stuff like ad block and anything else I could think of to do. And Tom Rimmel just tried to pop in. Looks like he got popped back out. One thing about that, hey Tom, one thing about that is that sometimes if you are in uh, with us on video and you have a problem with your connection, turn your camera off. There's a button at the bottom of the screen. You can turn your camera off, and that frees up a lot of resources. And we don't have your picture, but you can still talk with us. And so not having your picture is better than not having you at all. And some people have to do it like that. Frequently, you'll see somebody with just a black screen. But we got two people without black screens. We got their real faces, and that's
Is
Rick
on.
Sinclair. Whoa, he disappeared right when I said it. And Tom Rimmel and Mike Leinke popped in and took the place of Gary right about that time. Good evening, folks. How are y'all doing tonight?
Doing well, Rusty.
Good. So
Right.
I've got to get with Mike. Maybe this weekend we'll get all of the people who are going to do the Delta Dart build figured out. I've got a list of people's addresses. Um, I've got all the ones that we sent calendars to, and I've got some emails, and we just need to go through and match names with however many models Mike's got. And so, Mike, if you want a Saturday or Sunday, us two get together and we'll kind of work on that, getting that figured out. Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Yeah, that'd be fine. Like I said, I'm 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 still waiting on SIG for the propellers. I've got because I told you I didn't have enough propellers versus the number of kits I had. Waiting on a SIG dope order, and the props are in the dope order. So I did an order like 3 weeks ago, and then they sent me an email last week and said they have no dope products in stock. It'll be 2 to 3 weeks before they start shipping dope again.
That's fine. That plays right into my proclivity for procrastination.
I don't care about the props. I need my dope.
Yeah, that's all right. That plays right into my proclivity for procrastination. So that way we'll have time to get it all sorted out, put names on the addresses. And but anyway, so it's the end of the week again. What's going on in your area in Tennessee? Anything looking better or worse or about the same up there?
Don't know. Still haven't really left the house other than grocery store and going to the flying field.
Yeah,
we've been working on planes here, cars, working on RC cars. We got a group going out to the RC car track on Sunday and going to do a little RC airplane flying. A couple of my friends have kids that are interested and want to take a turn on the stick. So we're going to take the trainer out there and the buddy box and get a couple 10 and 11-year-olds on an RC trainer plane. I might drag a control line plane out there, maybe one of Sam's old RSTs or something like that, and see if they want to give that a shot.
Yeah. And you could,
but today and tomorrow is just shop days with rain. We've had a bunch of rain and.
Yeah, we did too. Oh, hey, Gary.
Hi. I lost my sound
for a minute and then pop back out. But
yeah, I lost sound. I had to reboot and start again.
Yeah. Oh, well, anyway, Friday night, I'm glad it's Friday, one of my favorite days of the week. And I was worried about my connection at first, but it looks like it's working okay. So hopefully we can have a smooth show tonight. I appreciate you sending me the calendar list that had names and addresses on it. So anybody listening now that wants to build a Delta Dart in our online build, Mike's accumulating what he needs to send it to all of you that want to participate. So make sure we all know your names and addresses, and we'll get it to you when all of the parts arrive in Tennessee. Are you gonna build one, Denny?
No, thanks.
Oh, don't want to do that, huh? Okay.
I know Gary wants like Dirty Harry says, a man's got to know his limits. So.
Yeah. What about you, Mr. Rammel? You're gonna build one, aren't you?
Yeah, Tom's gonna build one.
Okay. Tom might have locked up on it. All right. Well, let's see. Nobody's on YouTube yet.
Dennis, you know you could cheat and just have Archie build it for you and build you a world beater, man.
I know. The trouble is now.
You could have him build you one, and you could have him build you one that gets a 9-minute flight or something.
Yeah. He's been building, there's a great big outdoor free flight meet. He's been building stuff for that. He normally only flies indoors, but he's been building outdoor models now. And so he's got just he's got probably 6 or 8 projects planned for that. Anywhere from very simple, they fly the simple models usually as last one down. They just all launch together. Last one down wins.
Yeah.
That's so he's got a bunch of those kind of airplanes. I guess he'll probably build some scale models too. So he's having a blast. He doesn't know this is serious stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, there's no fun in serious, right? There's no fun in model airplanes, right? Wait a minute.
There's fun in competition. That's what I tried to tell Holly when I used to shoot a lot of pool, and she'd say, "Well, you guys just playing for fun, aren't you?" And I'd say, "Yeah," and I learned that that was the wrong answer because she'd pick a ball up and move it around on the table, and we're like, "What, WB? What the hell?" And she said, "Oh, you said you were playing just for fun." Well, yeah, but that's not what the fun comes in. It comes in who the hell who beats the pulp out of the next guy. That's what's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't bring my own cue stick in here for nothing.
Well, that's it.
I
The
was
fun part
watching.
is driving the enemy from the field and watching his women scream, right, or something like that. I don't know, something. That's the fun part.
And there's Trey. And hey, bud, we hadn't seen you in a couple of shows. How you doing tonight?
Good, good, good.
Good.
I've been a little busy. That's why you didn't see me.
Well, you guys down south, they letting you out to fly at all?
It's very windy.
Windy
It's
there
very
too.
windy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
we've had lots
Yeah,
of
it's been
wind.
really, really windy.
There are two
We had
problems
50
over
mile an
here.
hour wind yesterday.
Two problems here in the south is that most fields that I fly from, they're surrounded by trees
Mm,
and very tall trees. You're talking like 40, 50-foot trees, right? So when the wind blows, I mean, creates some nasty turbulences over there that
Yeah.
it's very hard to fly
yeah.
into that. So it's really, no.
But
Yeah,
you
those
guys hear what
twisters come
happened?
through and they're unpredictable. I had
Mhm.
one at Huntersville knock me out of the air at the top, very 90 degrees over the top, and it just knocked me completely out of the air. And it was lines were coiling up at my feet almost. And I think that same twister came back through and got under the wing and picked it up and managed to pull it tight on the lines again and flew the tank out. I didn't try any more stunts. That was in an
Yeah.
official flight. I gave that one the cutthroat and just flew it out. So
Yeah,
Did you hear what
yeah,
happened at the Dayton, Ohio, the Buzz and Buzzards? What happened at their field last year? Sometime in the springtime, there was they had a field, they had a bunch of trees around their flying circle and stuff. A tornado came through and ripped out all the trees. So now their flying site, all the bad trees are gone.
good air and level, huh?
Yeah, it was like about as fortuitous as you could get. As I understand it, they even had like like a club building or outbuilding, whatever. That wasn't touched. Just the trees, just the ones that caught that were up, upwind and down. It was like you can't plan this any better,
Yeah, that saves them a few $1,000 and
Yeah,
cutting trees down.
that's it. Well, the park or whatever wouldn't let them just cut the trees down anyway. But if the tornado come through, well, that's okay.
Hmm.
But I thought that was great.
Nice. Yeah.
Jenny, have you ever been to Huntersville?
I have not.
It, back in before my time out there, there was nothing but little scrub trees. Just we call them weed trees,
Mm.
growing around, but nobody ever cut them. And now they're 90 feet tall, and so and surrounding the circles. So we let a mess turn into, or we let a minor problem turn into a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that Huntersville? Yeah. Huntersville, when I went over there, I mean the field might be nice, paved and all that good stuff, but the trees that surround it, especially if the wind blows from the tree side, not from the open field side.
Yeah,
Oh boy. Your
yeah. If
guess
it
is as
blows
good as
across,
mine where the air is.
if it blows across from the RC side, then it's good air. But coming through those trees is treacherous.
Mm.
We couldn't. We were out there watching the crows couldn't even land in the trees. They'd have to go around and make two tries before they could grab a limb. You know, if you see crows trying to land in trees without success, you might not should be flying control line.
I guess not.
Hmm.
Of course, that's how contests go. If it ain't
Actually,
raining,
yeah,
it's windy.
Yeah.
the last Huntersville contest, I really wanted to go. But when I watched the weather, it was raining and all that crap, and it was windy and nasty. And I said, I think I'm going to stay home.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Huntersville has a habit of not doing what the weather report says, and we've had a lot of people leave because Sunday looked like a wash, and it turned out to be a beautiful day. But hey, if I go to a contest and get a hotel room, I'm at least going to stay and wait and see how it goes. It depends on how far you got to drive too. I mean, if you got to drive 600 or 800 miles, that's different too. I can understand.
The Huntersville, I understand that you guys actually aren't running contests anymore. You're doing like fun flies and stuff. Is that on every event or just
Only,
on certain ones?
only for the May contest, and I don't know how permanent that is. But the October contest is still chiseled in stone unless we're shut down,
Mm-hmm.
shut down by something like the government
Yeah.
virus lockdown or something like that. So
Okay,
yeah,
but
we do not want the October. That's the big one. We want to keep that because that's where people come from all over. They come from Canada and Brazil even, and a lot of them will come, and plan on staying for Joe Nall because it's just a week behind Huntersville, and so it makes sense to package them both in one trip.
There are a lot of Brazilians that are very active on controlline.com and stuff like that. They have big groups over there at the contests.
Yeah, they do. It's a shame Marcus Cordiero passed away. I never did actually meet him in person. I don't know if he was ever at a contest that I attended. I started going in 2013. That was my first year. And I used to read every article he wrote for John's magazine, Control Line World. And I'm sure he wrote for Pampa too. But, well, I don't know. Maybe he didn't.
I don't know if he wrote anything for Pampa, but he did a lot for that. He put a lot of good stuff on Stunthangar. He always had a good post going, a build thread or something going.
That's
So
he did good build threads, and some of those other guys do magnificent builds, and they show up at Triple Tree too for Joe Nall, and always bring some really nice equipment.
Is Joe
They're
Nall
friendly
on?
guys. No,
No. Bummer.
OFF. It is off, officially closed.
Wow. My boy really wanted to go back again this year, so
Yeah, that's
bummer.
a shame because last year was the year it got rained out. Is that right? Or was it the year before?
Last
It was
year
the
was
year before
beautiful.
that.
No, last year
Yeah.
was gorgeous
Okay.
weather.
Yeah, that's right. I was there. I was there last year. It was the year before that it got cut off in the middle of the week. They sent everybody home on about Wednesday or so.
Yeah. So that Marcus dude, I never met him in person, but we corresponded a bunch on Facebook and on Stunthangar because he was a diehard Iron Maiden fan, which is a heavy
Oh,
metal band for those of you guys that don't know. And I am also a diehard Iron Maiden fan. I travel all around the U.S. to see their shows, and Marcus and I both love this band. Talked about him coming to the States and coming to a show with me, and about us going down to Brazil, me and my buddies. We always wanted to see Iron Maiden on another continent, and we had discussed going down to Brazil. We actually had that pretty far in the works with Marcus. We were go down to Brazil and stay like 4 or 5 days and go attend a concert with them. So I was shocked when I found out that he had passed away. He went in for a stomach problem. He went to the hospital for a stomach problem, and he passed away in the hospital.
Yeah, it all
something I'm
happened
sure
like a day or two.
could have been easily solved with better medicine here in the.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know, but
I'm
treat every
very
day
sad I
like
never
it's your
got to
last.
meet him,
Hmm.
and we
Treat every
never
day
we
like
never
it's
got to
your
put
last.
our plan into effect.
Yeah, that's
I
a
sure would
shame.
have liked to have been able to do that, for him to come here and for us to go there, because he looked like a pretty passionate dude when it came to control line stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he always had knowledge to offer, to answer
Yes.
questions, to show us his bills, show us his flights. He videoed too. So, wonder where all the YouTubers are. Uh, It was cutting out on me one night recently, and hope any of you YouTubers out there
I
aren't
don't
having
think it's
trouble. Let me
active
see.
because I didn't see it on when I came on here.
I was rebooting my modem for a minute, and I had a message that it disconnected. Let me kill it and bring it back, and I'll see what happens, because it'll refresh with everybody.
I first logged into
Okay.
YouTube and it was working, except the sound was a little bit. There were some cracks in the sound at that time.
Uh, yeah, I'm refreshing it now and not seeing anybody. I'm going to pop it back out. I tried watching it on my tablet the other night instead of on here, because one of those other 8x8 guys that I went to for help told me that it works better if you don't use the chat box. And here we go. Oh, we got Eddie Sutter, David Phelps, and George Gonzalez. Speaking of South Americans, George is from Colombia. Hey guys, nobody was showing up. I had to refresh YouTube, so now you guys are with us. So hope y'all got a good, clear picture. And it says some of them were timed out and some were hidden. So hopefully they'll get a handle on it. Nothing I can do from here.
Mike, I saw Sam's videos with him going out and flying. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, we were goofing around. I flew a half A combat plane, knocked the dust off with that, and then flew a little bit of the Super Spider. He didn't do a full pattern or anything. He was just first flight of the year, doing some insides, outsides, inverted, eights, squares. We didn't try anything too hard since it was first flights of the year. But yeah, we're getting out there. We'll try to do a little bit more next time we go. Have them do a couple more maneuvers and so we can get. Do you have Alexander's plane fixed yet?
No, I didn't have time for it at all.
No.
And I'm missing a little control horn. Anyways, excuses. I have to just put the time in and fix it.
We finally had good weather in Minnesota today, at least most of the day, until this evening we had rain, but most of the day it was pretty nice, but I didn't get out flying. I had too many other projects that required my time today. I took the garden tiller up to till the garden and couldn't keep it running. So I had to rebuild the carb on that and then till the garden. I just got my collector truck back from the painter. So still have to put all the taillights in and trim back on, and I still have all the windows and doors to put on. So still a lot of work on that yet.
Tom, I have a question for you. Where can I go and get some of those LEDs that Fiorotti is using? Or do you know what kind are they? Maybe a part number?
I do not know what LEDs you're talking about. Are they like the low current LEDs?
Oh, I have no clue if they're low current,
Okay.
high current, or whatever.
The place where I get all my LEDs is DigiKey,
Yeah.
and they've got pretty much anything electronic. They have it, but
Yeah, but I need a part number.
I don't know a specific number for you.
Or what would you do to make it visible from a longer distance?
Um,
Fly in the dark.
Orange is the most
Probably,
visible color of everything.
yeah, you can go to the maximum current that's allowed on the LED, but there are some high brightness LEDs. If you look at the millicandle illumination rating, then you can find some that are brighter than most.
What colors are available? I guess orange is not one of them, is it?
You can get amber.
I think blue is very visible from a distance. That's why he's got.
You can pretty much get any color. I mean, well, I shouldn't say any
I
color.
was
You
going
can
to
get
say for paint. For
blue,
paint, I've
red,
always
green,
found
amber.
the most visible.
Blue, red, green, amber, and white are the most common.
Yeah. Green's the hardest to see in any circumstance. Green has the least energy of all of the colors.
Unless it's during the night. Then you can see anything.
Yeah. Looks like YouTube's working fine now.
So here's something I found. All right, if you look at the spec here, it's a blue LED, 15,000 MCD. That's
Millicandle, yeah. That's pretty bright. That would be pretty bright.
Yeah.
15,000.
Yeah, and I found something that's in a 6mm frame, but I'm not sure if that's the one. And probably those are like unidirectional kind of thing, right? They put most of their energy in one direction.
Right.
So
towards the dome top.
Yeah, I might have a lower degree of viewing angle, right?
Yes.
But what if you had a different LED and you put it inside of like a tube and you paint the tube on the outside with some of the paint that's for mirrors or something like that? Would it work or?
It would be very directional then, but yeah, that might help if you point that directly back at you.
Yeah. That's the idea. I mean, just put the tubes and pointing directly at you, and then you put the LEDs inside of the tubes.
Sure.
Hopefully, you're gonna shoot all of the light in one direction, or most of it at least.
If you have more than one LED for different indications, if you separate them further apart, then it's easier to tell which one is lit also.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. So this one I found here. I did buy some of them, but I'm not sure if that's the right stuff. This one is 12,000.
Mhm.
This is
It's a
this is a
15,000.
project I showed on Monday, but you weren't there trying.
Oh, I
It's
saw that.
spinning LEDs,
Uh-huh.
and I also programmed in a
Control line.
little guy flying an airplane. control line.
Nice. I like it.
I like that too.
That's very cool. How fast is it spinning? What RPM you got?
You know, I'm not sure of the RPM. It's just a small electric motor, direct drive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you don't even care then.
It's
And if
got to make a bunch of passes to make a clear picture, so it's probably pretty quick.
yeah. Look, yeah, that moves pretty good.
All surface mount components.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
It was a kit.
Fun
Write
project.
a kit and do all the soldering.
John, hey John Miller, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Good. I want to
Missed
ask you a
last week.
question. I want to ask you:
All right.
Are you in for the Delta Dart online video build?
Uh,
You know
I
what I'm
think I'll
talking about?
pass on it. I built a bunch of them in my day, but where I'm at right here, I don't have any way to do it. Don't have my shop up and running yet.
Oh well, I'm
Don't know
just
where the
going.
glue is.
I'm going to use a dinner tray and sit here with it on my lap and build. And I got a side table too, so that'll work. Okay.
They're all scared,
Well,
Rusty. They're scared.
Yeah.
Not scared. I just don't have the wherewithal to do it right now. No glue, no nothing.
You need a
All
bottle
right.
of Elmer's glue, John, and that's it.
I'll do it, Mike. I'm excited
I
about it.
got you down as
I know you will.
I got Jeff Riley for a no, Tom Rammel for a yes, Denny for a no, and John for a no.
You guys are going to miss out on all the fun, man.
I've been having so much fun today, I can hardly stand it. Trying to draw 3 dimensions in a 2-dimensional program. Bends my mind trying to make sure I'm trying to plot some things that are going to move in 3 dimensions, but I have to do it 2-dimensionally, and it's all kinds of weird angles. So I about got it. That's why I'm late today.
Isometric view, John.
Yeah. I'm trying to plot a motion in 3 dimensions. So isometrics won't do it either.
Oh.
So where were you Monday, John?
Doing the same thing. I just forgot about being here Monday. I got so deep into it, I practically didn't go to bed.
Damn.
Yeah, you got no supervision. You can stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning or whatever you want to do now.
Well, I just got the puppy dog. He's got to go out. He lets me know. But
glad you got somebody to nag.
Somebody asked me today. He says, "How you doing?" And I said, "Okay." He says, "We got to find you another wife." And I said, "No, don't do that. I'm having too much fun now. Getting used to it."
Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up.
Don't have to ask anybody's permission, you know.
Yes, the job done.
Or anybody's forgiveness, huh?
That too.
That especially.
Yeah. Denny, I've been in contact with Dave, so we're getting things moved along that way.
Yeah, I chatted with him the other day and said that you had some misunderstanding, or you didn't understand exactly what the top of that part was supposed to look like, or something like that. So waiting to hear
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah, I sent him the files yesterday, and he's just about got it all worked out now. Gave me my choice of colors. I chose white.
boy, that sounds exciting.
Well, I mean, I'm going to
Yeah.
paint the thing, and so all the colors he had, I couldn't figure out how to use like transparent gold. I couldn't figure out
Yeah.
how to
Well,
use
that's
it.
it. Well,
Hey
he had
Tom,
somebody. Who was it? Uh, oh, guy down in Alabama. I can't think of his name. Jim something or other. Anyhow, he wanted a mount, and he wanted it in fluorescent orange. So Dave
Really?
said, he went looking, and he found the colors, printed it, sent it to the guy, and the guy was just blown away. He said, "That's perfect. That's just what I wanted." So now he's got this great big spool of
For
fluorescent
anybody
orange
who,
plastic. What the hell do you do with it?
Yeah, for
So,
one. Yeah,
for
for
anybody
one.
interested, Trey posted a link in our video chat box about
that's for Tom.
blue.
That's for Tom.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's for you, Tom.
So
So, Dennis, did Archie the Third or whatever? Did he flew in stun in the Nats and stuff?
yeah, I'm trying to think exactly what he did. I think he won advanced one year.
Yeah,
He
and
might
took
have been.
second and senior or something.
Yeah, I think that was it. But I think he actually won an indoor peanut scale, rubber powered peanut scale. He won that as a junior.
nah, it's not
So
gonna.
so he's been there in a few different events and stuff. He's been right lately. He's been having a blast with building rubber models again, and now he's starting to build outdoor stuff. I don't know if we'll get him to fly stunt again or not, but he's having too much fun. You go, hey, stop having fun, get to work. But
Well, I seen a thing on Facebook, these airplanes, and there was like it's not really pink, but it had a V tail on it, and
mhm.
I don't know if that was one of your airplanes.
No, it's all his. It's all his. He had a lot of the same thoughts and everything like that. Kind of maybe built on where I was and took it a step farther and whatever. He had some details. He was doing some stuff with fiberglass fuselages and plug-in wings and stuff. He never got it to the fully molded airplane like Trian has, but I got a couple of his glass fuselages, and he was plugging in foam wings and stuff like that. He actually made a few kits for people. We had prefab the
That's
wings
that.
and all that. So
Is that one that he showed up at VSC with the mold and the plug and that for?
probably was, yeah. He was at
Yeah,
BSC a long time ago, so it would have been it, probably.
yeah. It was a long time ago.
hmm Let's see. I'm thinking he was like late '80s, early '90s or so. He was doing that. No, it had to be
The
later than
early
that.
'90s.
It had to be in the
Early '90s.
'90s. Yeah. On his Facebook page, I guess he's posing with a silver airplane with red, white, and blue trim. That was a take apart with a glass fuselage.
Yeah, it said
So
something about there being a fiberglass fuselage, and it had the long wing,
yeah,
high
oh
S.
yeah, that was big. That was big everywhere. That was just a flat out big airplane. But yeah, he was good at it. He made good glass fuse. I've got a couple of his fuselages. I'm still planning on building some stuff around that. I figured that'd be a good little shortcut to get airborne. So
Well, I sent Gordon Delaney's Challenger off to Walter Umland today.
That's great.
Yeah. So depending on what he does with it, you know.
I don't know. I think Walter's been. I get the sense that he's been doing well with the combat models. He seems to be offering a lot of them, and they're fairly cheap. There's not nearly as much work, in from his standpoint, uh, putting them in the kit or anything like that. So I think he's probably pretty content to be doing that.
Yeah, he told me that the vintage combat models were really taking off with him. So that's why he wanted to get some more, get another one. And Gordon's is a good one for him to get. So
Yeah.
that's the deal.
Yeah, it used to be in his stunt models, he was getting like 50 to 75 orders, for a particular design, and it was, pretty much worth his effort to set up the CAD files, set up the cut files, do all the kitting and everything like that. But the last several he made, he was getting like, a dozen or less orders. He even did a USA one that I don't think he ended up cutting an awful lot of. And, that should have been a real popular airplane. And so
yeah,
I think he kind of got this, the amount of setup that goes into that is just phenomenal. So.
Well, yeah, he's modifying his the way he does business. I think he saves the files, and you call him, you ask him, you want a model of something that he's done before. If he's got the files, he'll cut it for you right in the next day or two, and you'll get it. But he's kind of backing off of doing new designs unless he can get 25 or so orders for the first first run, because he can't afford to set up for it.
Yeah, I don't know how many he sold, but he did Paul Walker's Predator. Darn good contemporary design. That should have been a popular one. I guess I just don't know how many of those he ended up doing either. But
yeah, I don't either.
Well, I think a lot of it though is that he keeps doing glow. If he'd have done the new Predator, an electric version or something like that or whatever, I think.
Well, that's it. The Predator was electric. I don't think he even had a gas version.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But most of the airplanes, at least, he was offering gas or electric. He was trying to do that, but again, it was just it meant he had to set up two sets of files, or at least changing a little bit of something. Yeah. Then he started offering more short kits, because it was a lot less investment from his standpoint, and still a good value to the customer, because you get all the the cut parts. And the short kits worked well for him for a little while, but even then, it's just it just doesn't move enough of them to keep them going. I wish he'd join us again. He'd tell us about all that. But.
I know he's got. It's been since 2011, I think. He had me do the plans for the Hal DeVolt's. What was that?
The stunt wagon.
High speed stunt wagon. Yeah, he's got he's had the files since then, but he hasn't had enough interest in it, so they just sit there. He told me, I got to get that done one of these days, but it's one of those things. There's hasn't been a whole lot of interest on it. We set it up for a Super Tiger 51, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a good combination for it.
Yeah, of course, the way it's built and set up, I actually made it so the wing dismounts, so you can, take care of things that need to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be an easy one to convert over to electric. That'd be so easy.
Actually, I got one. There's not a lot of room for the battery in there. You got to be a little creative. But I don't have one. I got actually a set of rigs from Tom Neighbor ribs and a set of plans. Tom Neighbor was cutting that stuff for a while. I got I got both sizes. The big one and there was a little one, basically the size of a combat model. So.
Well, there was one even smaller than that. There was a baby one for like 049 or something like that.
Yeah.
Was Neighbor cutting laser cutting kits, or was he just cutting them by hand?
Those were lasered.
He had people cutting them for him.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know who was. Yeah, I don't know who was cutting them, but.
Did he ever finish that Cheeks? What was it? That jet model?
Yeah, the Sea Vixen.
Classic Sea Vixen. Did he ever finish that?
I believe so. He finished it, and he actually had the paint went bad, or covering all cracked while I was just sitting there before he even flew it. That it turned really hyper brittle, I guess. And he stripped it down and redid it again, but I never heard that he actually flew it. But he did a beautiful job on that.
Yeah, I saw pictures of it, but I don't know if he ever flew it,
Yeah, I never saw it. I just saw the pictures he put on Stunthangar, but man, he sure did it. He took and went beyond, I think, he did details in the jet scoops and stuff that just weren't in the plans or weren't on Jack's original model, but he just took a little bit of license with that and made it look even more realistic. So that was, that was a great job he did with that. So
yeah, I kind of missed the guy.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had come up with a couple other ideas. He instead of the profile, he offered up that real simple airplane he called the Hobo. The box.
Yeah, I was just thinking of that.
Yeah, that was, I thought, a nice idea. But people are putting so much work into profiles now, trying to make them stiff and everything. So the fuselage doesn't whip. They go all whoopy jawed on them. He says, "Well, what the heck? You're going to build it up that much? Why don't you just build up the fuselage? Just make it a box.
Well,
that makes it stronger than anything." So.
But then you couldn't fly it in the profile event.
Yeah. Well, even in the profile event, the profiles seem to be getting wider and wider. So.
Well, you can go 3/4 of an inch to the trailing edge of the wing.
Some say 3/4, some say 1. I actually, just to show I could do it, I took a set of plans for the Oriental and I made that fit the profile rules by just putting in a set of really, really constricted bulkheads in the back. And there were people back in the classic era actually used to build their fuselages like that, super skinny. And they did it to save weight in the tail so you didn't have to add any nose weight. And you can do that. You can get there from here.
Oh yeah.
But anymore, the profile rules, basically they let them do almost anything in front of the wing, to stiffen up the nose and so it doesn't vibrate and shake. And that's all well and good. And then in back they say, well, it's just 3/4 wide, and then I've never seen anybody out there with a measuring gauge or anything, but.
Well, yeah, it's like you show up at VSC with something that's maybe not classic. You'll fly anyway because it's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, well, that's it. I've seen some just in the pictures. It looks like the tails on the VSC Classics are a lot bigger than any of the tails I used to see back nearest. And the airplanes are all 75 square inches bigger.
I was there when a couple of guys, top modelers, top competitors showed up with their. One of them had a Olympic, and it was stretched. It had about 3 more inches between the flap line, hinge line, and the elevator hinge line.
Yeah.
And there was another one. I forget what the other one was. But anyway, and these were guys, and they actually stopped them from flying. They wouldn't let them fly. They said that's going too far.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You got to draw the line. It's fun. You want to relive the era and everything like that. But on the other hand, we're not building scale models, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, when they
Well,
Got a great supersized twister. I think he's got a 60 on it.
Can you guys see this?
Not very well.
Yeah. Well, I popped you up to full size now. You can see. Hang on, it's still popping up. Come on. There we go.
Falcon. Oh my goodness.
Blue Sky Models.
Blue Sky Models.
Yeah, that was
I
my
don't know.
neighbor's company, right?
I don't know who. It says GEO ROE. Thanks for the help. And then it's signed by Tom Nabor and John DeTavio. And what's crazy
Looks
is
like Mike's trying to.
What's crazy is
looks like Mike's trying to show one.
if this is the number 2 made of the second run of these, and Samantha has the second one ever made. So
Really?
she's got the second of the first batch and the second of the second batch.
That's a nice looking plane Mike's holding up.
He's saying it.
Good job on the cover.
That Galaxy just keeps coming along there.
It's first look.
Oh yeah, this thing is all laser cut.
Or no?
I'm sorry, Rusty. I wasn't. It's the Galaxy. Back in action.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to get our attention, but looks
No,
nice.
I wasn't. I was working on. I don't even know what the hell you call that little piece. I like to put a little. Let me do this.
Yeah, I like to do that too.
Thank you.
Over
I
the
just call
rod,
it a lead out fairing.
Yeah, fairing or
It's a fairing.
Yeah.
Oh, the hood.
A
Just
hood?
crank that out while we were sitting here bull crapping. I just crafted.
Yeah, I like carving little stuff like that.
Two coats and the tips are done. Tips are done. 2 coats. So next will be the filler coat, and then maybe I'll finish this damn thing. We'll see. If I can stop building rubber models, I'll be able to finish it. All right, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Steve. Oh, he left anyway.
All right.
He was showing a kit.
Cheyenne, did you get my message?
It's not light enough, huh? Oh, let me check it out. What you got here?
I found one at DigiKey that's twice as bright as the one that you had shown me. Or almost twice as bright.
So what's the brightness on this one?
1100.
Yeah, the one that Fiorot is using is over 15. Yeah, I need over 1500. Actually, I misread it. I thought I was reading 1500, and it was 15,000. Yeah, that's
Tryon, if you go to McMaster Car, you can get one that's 1.21 gigawatts. Nobody.
No.
We're laughing
at it.
We laughed at it.
Did you? Yeah. Okay. Did you know that there's actually a part number for a fastener at AutoZone or Advanced Auto? I can find it, but if you go to their website and you type in part number, it's a flux capacitor. They've got it in their parts inventory as a joke, but it's for real on their website. There's a part number for a flux. It's either Advanced or AutoZone. I don't remember, but it's like an internet gag. You can actually Google it and get a flux capacitor from AutoZone.
I wonder how
There
many
we
people
go.
tried to buy one.
And you know the actor that said that pronounced gigawatts. It was supposed to be gigawatts.
Oh yeah, gigawatts,
What's that,
gigawatts,
Steve?
whatever.
That's
What are you showing, Steve?
the number 2 JD Falcon.
Number
That's
2.
awesome.
Wow.
Number 2.
That is amazing.
Holy cow.
That's Samantha.
What year was that built? What year was that built?
Probably in the 60s, I think. It was built.
Wow.
So the first number 1 was built
John,
with
did
an
you-
over wing, and this one here has his wing, which
Right.
is basically an over wing. But the first one actually was an over wing out of the kit.
Okay.
So the first one with a unique wing then.
But yeah,
Can't hear ya.
Samantha flew that at Brodak for John.
Did he?
Yeah, the last
That's
time
awesome.
John was at Brodak, his son got him out there in the golf cart, and Samantha flew it on the circle that they usually fly combat on, whatever circle that is.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
That is. Okay, I'm looking at the magazine article. It was April 1961. I think that airplane is in the picture. One that looks just like it.
Wow.
So it's at least 1960 or so.
What engine does it have? What engine, Steve?
He gave it to her with a Rojet 40 rear exhaust in it.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
but that originally had a Fox 35, I guess.
Yeah,
Of course it did.
that's awesome.
But I got
Big-
the
Good
touch
engine.
and paint. I'm gonna match paint and stuff, and because that's a color he blended, that orange, and I got a little bit of DuPont paint in a can, and I'll do it up. But I think we're gonna go back to a side exhaust motor that was in it. I'm gonna put a Inya 35 stun in there.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Because it weighs the same as a Fox 35. It's that one that's done a 35
new-
25 case.
So the new modern one.
Yeah, well, kind of modern. I think it was made. That was made in early 2000s, 2001.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was almost.
It's
20
not
years
one of
old.
those old. It's not one of those old Enya 524s or anything silly like that.
Mm-mm.
Well, yeah.
I got it.
It's not one of the idiots that never wear out.
If you know what a Inya 25 looks like, it looks the same except the head sets up about another 1/8 of an inch above the cylinder, or the
Yeah.
on it. He's stroking
What kind
out
of weight
a
is
25.
Hey, is the cutoff date for nostalgia? Is that 30 years? Has to be 30 years old.
Yeah. Nostalgia 30 does.
Okay. And yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason I ask is I just realized that I have a design that I had published in '93, but I actually designed it in '90.
All right.
It's going to be nostalgia legal.
Wow.
I might
Pretty-
have to
pretty
build
soon
another
you-
one.
Pretty soon you're gonna fly SV11s in the nostalgia.
I think you already
Yeah, that's true.
You already can, I think. Got to be close.
You might,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I remember them being around in the early '90s.
Because I know that the Vector, the original Vector, and the Staris SV, the Staris and the Vector are Nostalgia 30 legal.
Was the Vector before the SV?
Yes.
Wow.
not.
Yeah, the Vectors, that's where the V comes from, and SV is from Vector.
The
S comes from Staris.
Super
was not
Vector.
the
I've
Vector
heard that.
they have now, right? That wasn't
Or
the
not.
30 size airplane, or the 35 size airplane that the Vector's associated with now. I think
Dennis,
it
you got to shake your mic, Dennis. Shake your mic.
was. I think it's the mic on my
Hey, Dennis,
isn't
something I've
working at all. It's
noticed
the
is
mic on my PC.
usually, hey, listen, let me tell you something. Something I've noticed is it usually starts happening when you go like this.
Mm.
So maybe it's
And
your
turn your
shirt
head
covering
to
you
the
or
left.
Yeah,
something.
maybe my I need to change my deodorant or something. I don't know.
I think it's an echo out of your armpit.
I'm going about this all wrong, you know.
Yeah, if changing your mic doesn't help, changing your deodorant might be step 2.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's bad.
Option
That's bad,
number
Dennis,
2.
when you raise your own arm and it takes your voice away.
Oh my!
Hey, Mike, when's the big build off?
Who's that talking?
Lynn,
What
Glenn.
big build up?
Len
the
got
big
his
bill-
airplane. He's ready to go.
All right.
Okay, yeah, you missed out on the
When's this happening?
I'm still waiting for my SIG dope order, which has the propellers in it, that because I'm lacking half a dozen propellers to go with the kits. But Rusty is getting a mailing list together. It's probably still going to be a few weeks out yet. We're safe, but you
Okay.
got a kit
All right.
already, don't you?
Okay.
You already have
Yeah,
one,
I got
right?
a kid. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
good.
we'll do it. We'll get it going as soon as I get all the props in.
Okay.
Then I'll start mailing kits to everybody. I mean, I'm thinking we're
No problem.
It could be in the fall.
probably a month of this anyway, at the least.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
And
So Lynn,
we might even be able to push it to the fall. We might push it to fall after everybody gets going
Yeah,
to
whatever.
all the contests and stuff like that. So how you doing,
That's
Lynn?
good.
Lynn,
Good.
should I put you down for
Good.
yes, but already has kit?
Yeah, I already have a kit.
Should I put you down for yes, you're going to participate and you already have a kit?
Yeah,
Is that
Correct.
right on.
Okay.
Yeah.
right? All right. Okay. Gotcha.
Steve, are you
Cool.
going to participate? Steve?
Oh yeah, my name's in. Mine was probably the first one.
Okay. All right.
What's this
All right.
about?
The Delta
Participating.
Dart video build we're going to do online all in one night.
Ah,
A little rubber
You
band.
familiar with what a Delta Dart is, Trian?
I have no clue what that is.
It's a rubber
Let
powered.
me show you.
Yeah, yeah, we're going to build them all in one night on the video, and then later we're going to go out and record our flight times. It's a rubber band power plane.
Perfect.
Mike's holding it
Okay,
up now.
so
Mm-hmm.
this is actually the thermic dart. This is like twice as big as a Delta Dart, but Trian, if you can see, an 1/8-inch balsa. The plane we're going to build is almost identical to this. It's just smaller, and you actually build it on the covering. You lay the plan down upside down, and you glue all your balsa sticks with white glue, just Elmer's glue, and you can do the whole thing in
I think I know them.
just on a piece of like foam board.
I think I know them.
The Delta Dart. So I've got a whole bunch of kits, and we're going to send them out to anybody who wants to build one. And then on the live chat one night, we're all going to get our foam board out and build an airplane while we're talking about airplanes. So if you want in, get Rusty your address, and I'll get a kit to you. Alexander will get a kick out of it for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trian, I got you down for a yes.
Yes.
Is that right?
Amen.
Gotcha. You're in. Locked
and
and
I
loaded.
sent you another link, and this one is 15,000.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Yeah, that's.
I want to build a JD Falcon.
I was thinking because I have that one kit to take and draw out templates for the ribs and stuff like that. Just so
You have a kit. You have a kit for that?
I did. Oh, you weren't on when I showed it?
No.
No, I didn't see the kit. I wasn't on yet. That's awesome.
Okay.
Tryon.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. That is awesome.
Yeah, what's crazy is when what I was showing was the second JD Falcon ever made. Then when they decided to make more of them again for old time or whatever, this is the second JD Falcon ever, the kit to be made.
Rusty, that's for you.
Wow.
I hope it doesn't get out in the world. Rusty, I gave you the message.
Say what? Tryon, say it again.
I gave you a message.
Oh, okay.
All right. Keep it private.
I'm clicking it now.
Yeah, I wish that,
Absolutely.
I asked Tom down there about the files, and he said he had them. I don't know who has all the files, but he didn't say who cut. Yeah, I know. I just opened it up. I didn't even know it was a laser cut kit. But
who made the kit?
Blue Sky, Tom Nabor.
Tom Neighbor.
Okay. I didn't know he made kits. He's not. Okay.
Yeah, the guy who.
That's awesome.
I guess it was John DeTavio, him, and someone else. Good. That kitted that, and that was his personal kit, and he gave it to Samantha. Tom Nabor had number 1. That was number 2, and John DeTavio had number 3. So the first 3.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
That's probably.
So, are you going to trace all the parts?
Now, what, John?
The guy there that he was thanking was probably the guy that drew the CAD files for him.
George something or other.
Yeah, it's typically the guy that's doing the kitting takes number 1, and then number 2 goes either to the guy that did the CAD file or to somebody else, like the actual designer of the airplane.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, if you open it up.
Does it have a full-size plan?
Yes. Yep, it has a full-size plan and everything. But
that's awesome.
Len's going to want you to. Len's going to want you to make a
You know where
copy
I'm
of those plans and send them to him.
you know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I hate to unroll the plan because I can never get shit back in the box, but
no, don't worry about it.
I don't know
later.
If it has all the ribs drawn out or not. I'll have to.
Just send him the box, the kit. He'll take it from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just send me the kit. Just send me the box. I'll take care of it. I'll send it back to you. It may not be quite as full when I send it back.
You send back the empty box, right?
Hey, Tom, thank you.
Yeah, with the sheets, I'll send them back the wood from the cutouts.
Yeah.
It'll be lighter. What's the problem?
Yeah, cheaper to ship, right?
That's right. The kit will be. I'll lighten the kit up for you a little.
Hi, Charles.
Hello, Charles.
Yeah.
Hello, Charles.
Waiting for his camera and microphone to turn on.
Okay.
He's working.
Turn on the mic at least.
I'm not sure when I'm gonna.
All right, my mic's working, right?
Right, try what is that?
Hey, you're right, Dennis. 1971.
It's a mold
Is it
for
a wing
wheel
tip?
pants. Wheel pants. Wheel pants.
It does run,
Oh, okay.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
but it only
That is
has
cool.
number 1 and number 2 ribs drawn out, or 12, 1 and 12.
Oh. Okay.
What
Root and
plans are
tip,
So
those?
that's
make
all
sure
you
you
need.
What's that?
Well, that's all you
So
need. You
Root and
stack
tip
them
is all you
together and
need.
sand them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you stack them together and then sand them.
Yeah, you can do that, but he has all the ribs in the kit, so he just has to trace them.
Yeah, I can do that too.
It's easier to sand them than it is to trace them.
All you have to do is trace all the
It's a
parts
hell
on
of a
the
lot
back of the
easier.
plans he's going to send you, Len.
What's that?
All he has to do is trace all the parts on the back of the kitty, back of the plans, and then send you the kit, right? So he'll have the templates.
Just send me the
and make
plan.
new
I
one.
don't need. He sends me the ribs on the back. I'll have it built before he gets it out of the box.
But if anybody
Don't
wants,
tell him that. So
if anybody wants plans, once Kinko opens up, I can get some plans printed off.
What you could do is just get it scanned. Just get it scanned into a PDF.
Yeah, and then we can print it anywhere.
And then you can send it to all of us. It'd probably be cheaper to get
There
it
you
scanned
go.
into a PDF than
That's
to
even
make
better.
then make a copy of it.
Yeah, Kinko's will probably print them for you for like what, $5 or so.
Yeah. Then I could.
Hey, I'm in either way.
No, I think it's 15. Tryon.
Yeah, 15 sounds more like it.
Yeah. So if anybody wants
Perfect.
some 15.
Yeah, just scan it into a PDF,
I take-
Steve.
Huh?
Just scan it into a PDF. Just have them scan it to your thumb drive or floppy thumb drive or I have to say floppy. That's pretty
We don't
dated.
have floppies anymore.
Hey, I'm Charles.
Well, I
I'm
don't
not
have
no
a floppy
peasant. I
disk
like it the
anymore.
first way
Yeah.
better. I'm a techno
I take
peasant.
I take mine to
Oh, look at that. Here's a floppy disk.
One at a time, guys. One at a time.
That's my
Wow,
whole.
look at that.
That's my whole education sitting there
Wow.
that I have no way to read anymore. It's all my notes and tests and all kinds of stuff.
I have a bigger floppy drive than that. The 5-inch ones. I have one of those.
Okay, Tryon's been
ones that are
trying to show us
popular.
the
What's that mold for,
his mold.
This is the wheel
What's it
pants
for?
mold.
Yeah.
What's
Wheel
that
pants.
for?
Oh,
Wheel
cool.
pants.
Okay.
You see the shape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is that like an interlock on the mold or something like that? Looks like you have some kind of a feature there on the around the edge of the shape.
yeah, this is going to be an inflation bladder. You have like a balloon that sits inside of it.
Okay.
You put the material, and then you plug in this feature over here and push air inside of it. And when it expands, it closes the seam because you mold it like this
Mm-hmm.
and some like this. See that? And
Yeah.
then
Okay.
Yeah.
you put
Beats the hell out of carving.
and you put air through here.
Yeah.
So you will mold both sides together, and it'll be all joined and everything like that when it comes out.
Yep.
That's fabulous.
And it also squeezes most of the resin out of it too. So it's super light.
Light,
So
for sure.
So you got that 4-inch floppy, or is that a 3-inch? That great big one.
That's a 3
5
and a quarter.
5-inch, 5 1/4 or whatever.
5 1/4.
Oh, that's a 5. Okay.
What?
Excel. Microsoft Excel.
Mike Wazowski.
Windows.
As long as that's the only floppy you got, it's all good.
Well, Tom, do you have a reader for that thing? You got a drive for that?
No,
Yeah.
not anymore.
I got a drive for it. The problem is trying to hook it up to a SATA motherboard. It's just they don't make a
Yeah, that'll
converter
be a
to
problem.
convert the IEEE whatever it is to SATA.
ASA
Yeah.
or ISA.
If I could ever find that, I've got a 3 1/4 floppy in the computer I built because I had a whole bunch of files and stuff, and I've got probably 300 of those 3 1/4s, and I can't find a converter to convert it so that I can put it on the SATA hard drive or an SATA motherboard.
Some
Hey,
computer shop that's
looks
been
like the
around
video
for years
star
and
is showing
years.
up here. Our video flying star. How you doing, Sam?
Doing good.
Good. Good to see you, man.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
How you doing?
See you sporting your blue hair.
Tell him you knocked the dog off Sunday and we went flying, right?
Yeah, blue hair.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you couldn't tell. So I blew the picture up. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Looks
School's
good.
out. School's out, so he wanted to have a little fun chairs. He wear just for funsies.
Fly
just
planes
wish I
and
had
race
hair.
cars. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Tell
me
him.
too. I wish I had hair. Any color.
Any
It's
color.
why you take off
Funny
that.
with a blue scout.
It's why you
No
take
matter
off
what color to
blue.
me.
Three.
Hey,
Yes,
Sam.
I know it.
Sam, you should get an
I know it.
airplane to match your hair. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, if we get our SIG
Tell Dad
dope,
to paint that galaxy to match your hair.
if we get our SIG dope order, I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
some blue coming in the SIG dope order.
All
So
right.
whatever their
Yeah,
white or blue
Sam's
is.
got it right. All right, that's awesome.
We saw your Eagle 63 take off.
Yeah.
Tell them.
That was good.
Fine.
Yeah, we won.
What do we fly? What do we fly?
Flew a little bit of combat and then a little bit of stunt.
What else do we fly?
Free
Rubber-
flight.
Free flight. What else do we fly?
RC.
RC. We flew everything. We had it all going on.
There you go.
Little electric, little glow, rubber, little Yuki, and we didn't break anything. We came home with all our airplanes. We didn't crash anything, right?
Amazing.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have your dad get
You guys
you
must be
something like
getting
that.
better.
It's taller. It's
That's
taller than
two
me.
people talking.
You can't even see the rudder. And once the engine's on it, the cow, it'll be that tall.
It's the gotta click
It's
on you.
gonna fly well without a wing.
Oh, look what the cat dragged in
Yeah,
here.
where's the wing?
Downstairs, they're plug-in.
Hey, Sam.
What's the wingspan on that thing, Steve?
6 foot. Or 2 meters.
That's a baby.
That's,
It's a 2 meter airplane is what it is.
I'm gonna have to get Sam to
Good night.
fly my Telemaster when I get it done.
Good night, Sam. Thanks for coming.
hell yeah.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, guys, let
Thanks
me,
for coming, Sam.
let
The
me
bit
interrupt for
is-
just a second.
They
I
were
know
doing a
it's-
closeout on that airplane. Got it for $200.
Hang on.
The rudder servo is like 140.
Wow.
This is my
Okay,
new.
listen, guys. I know it's almost impossible, but let's slow down a little bit. We've got voice overlap, so I know sometimes you can't tell that other people are talking. But let's make an extra effort to try to make it one at a time. I know it's hard. It's damn near impossible, but we could try a little bit harder. the YouTube guys have a tough time listening to us, and if you could just do that, that's all I ask. And I know I want to point out that Lynn, your connection is the worst one about the overlap. So I know that you have more problem than anybody knowing when somebody's talking. So anyway, just wanted to mention that. So just something to try to pay attention to. If it works, it works. Just do the best you can.
You get that,
I
Gary?
got something going on in the background, like a radio or something. You hear a radio in the background?
We're talking so much,
channel.
Gary.
Who's got the radio?
Anybody
YouTube,
hear that?
Not me.
TV.
Now nobody wants to talk. Everyone's scared to talk.
You
now.
too.
We're trying to listen to where
We're trying to hear the radio.
hear a radio on.
We're trying to. Who has the radio?
Not me.
I don't think it's the radio.
Not me.
I don't
Not
think it's the
me.
radio.
It
I
could
think
be
it's
just
feedback.
talk.
I don't hear.
Okay.
I don't
Let's
hear
try to
radio.
carry on now. All right, I didn't mean to stop everything, so we can carry on now.
You sure,
It must
Just
have
Rusty?
been
try
the
to be mindful of
microphone.
that.
You sure, Rusty?
Might be. About what?
We can carry on now.
Yeah. Rusty says, go for it.
Oh,
In 3,
Glenn, did you
2,
get a
Well, I
package
got
from
my
me?
work.
Now anybody talks. What's that,
Glenn,
Mike?
I'm going to get in here before anybody else starts. Did you get a package yet?
No, not yet. I sent you your money though. It went out. Okay.
Okay. All
We'll
right.
see if you get.
I hope
we'll
it's
see.
in
We'll
rules.
see who gets some. Hey, we'll see who gets some. You or me.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Well, it's
good.
got to be the coronavirus slowing down the mail.
I ordered
That's
a
right.
T-shirt from
I think
Cox
my
Engine
props are
Forum.
going to have Corona.
I ordered a shirt a month ago from the Cox Engine Forum's Teespring site, and it hadn't come yet.
hey, Len. Can
Yeah.
you see? Can you see that little gold star or that white star around the gold?
No, I just see that picture of that guy on there. It looks like you.
I see it.
Some ugly
You're
guy.
bona fide.
Yeah, you see
Now
that
you're
deal
bona fide.
on the top of the driver's license, that gold circle?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's so I can drive into Canada now. And now they closed the border.
Awesome. Oh, no kidding. I gotta keep it up. Keep it up. I'll tell them to keep it that way.
Now you know who your friends are.
I'll
God.
have a bunch of stuff with me, and I'll just tell them, say, hey, Len said I could bring all this contraband in. It's for him.
Oh, nice. Oh, God. And his address is? Oh, I don't know.
But I know where the bean field is, and there's people there who know where he lives.
Whatever you
That's
do, Len,
true.
don't give him your do not give him your address now.
We just got to
No,
wait.
he's
I'll
not
just
for
tell
no
him.
good.
One day he'll go out flying, and there'll be a Mountie on a horse there waiting for him.
We flew today, actually. It was beautiful. It was a
You got
good
nice
flying
beer.
day today.
Nice.
About 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Got up to 51.
Brad and I went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Brad Lapointe and I went out and flew some flights today each. It was a good day.
Yeah, I thought about going, but I didn't. So
It's not going to make me any better. I'm not worried about it. I can fly every day and it won't get any better.
oh yeah. Well, the bitch is here. It's always so cold in the morning. I think it was 31 here this morning, and it never got up to 50.
Oh yeah, it was
4 o'clock.
Same here. It was cold.
Man, I'm like, screw that.
Yeah, it takes a long time. It was close to 50 while we were out there today. It wasn't too bad.
Well, now that I'm not outside all the time for 8 hours a day, this weather seems a lot colder to me for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm getting accommodated to 70-degree weather in my house all the time.
So is everybody
I got in my
else.
car today. My car said it was 110.
Where?
Today.
Nice.
Magneto, 110.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what
Wow.
I thought.
You can tell it must be 110. Look at the top he's wearing. We're wearing
Exactly.
sweaters here.
Well, right
He's
now,
got a tank top on.
well, my garage is 86 right now.
Damn.
Gee whizzigers.
Hey, let's
Nice
see
and
that
cool.
completed fuselage, Charles.
What?
Let's see that completed fuselage.
It's
Yeah,
not completed,
let's
but
see
I got the I sanded off the front so the nose ring is ready to go on. I had a
Okay.
friend of mine rework that tool. So now that tool is pretty nice. But yeah, it's not much different than you saw it last time. Hope to get the
Okay.
the bottom block molded this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see a picture of it after Charles has sweated on it for a whole week. It'll look like a pretzel from a warping.
Yes.
Come on, Gary.
I'm hoping to start a
say so
string
much.
on myself in the fall.
You either, Tom.
What?
You guys be quiet a little bit. You and Gary.
Too loud? Too loud
Hey,
for you?
you're talking too much.
I just didn't
Yeah,
do
you
it
guys
like
need to settle
aviation,
down a
that's
little.
all. I got my truck back from the painter, my collector truck, 72 Chevy pickup.
You got it back from the being painted?
Yeah. So I putting the taillights back in and putting the glass in the doors and that kind of stuff.
What kind of engine you got in it?
It's a 350 Chevy.
Cool.
It's a stock. It's rebuilt to stock.
Okay.
I was driving it back from the painter though, and I must have an issue with the carburetor because I must have had raw fuel in the muffler, and it ignited, and all of a sudden there's a huge boom, and it just split the seam out of the bottom of the muffler.
Yeah, a buddy of mine had a 1976 Chevy 1-ton with a 454 in it. And talk about something that really went. But when you hit a bump, it jarred your spine. But he was messing around. He was always drag racing somebody with that thing. But yeah, that was a cool truck. I like that, the styling of them back then and stuff. And
Yeah, I got to get the dock put in the lake too. Then I can stand out there and fly airplanes from the water.
what you should have did is got it in place a couple months ago. It'd have been easy to get it out there and just let it melt down in place. I mean, you've been ready to go.
The problem is if the wind is going the wrong direction, it might melt out in the middle of the lake instead of by my shore.
You gotta tie it off.
I guess there are some people that have tried that, but it usually doesn't work very well.
Oh, okay.
Up on Lake Minnetonka, they had the ice broke up, and it's we had 50-mile-an-hour wind, and the ice just in little tiny chunks piled up and ran right into the houses and did damage to the houses.
Holy
It
shit!
becomes so powerful when the wind's blowing that ice.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that where Apollonia jumped in naked? Was in Lake Minnetonka?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
They don't know what you're talking about, Steve.
Oh, you didn't. You never seen the movie Purple Rain?
They know what you're talking about.
No.
That one with Prince in it.
I heard of the song, but I never saw the movie.
Oh, okay.
I remember that song.
I remember the scene where she jumped into a lake.
Yeah, she gets naked.
Somehow I wasn't paying attention to the name of the lake.
I wonder why. I wonder why. Yeah, Dennis, share with us why.
So, did you live close to Prince, Tom?
I knew where Paisley Park is in Eden Prairie. I'm probably 60 miles from there. My brother-in-law was into music, and he was at Paisley Park and met Prince and actually did some recording in his studio.
Oh no shit, that's cool. Yeah, I know that he was from around that area. I didn't know. I thought he supposed to have grown up closer there to that lake and stuff when he was a kid. But that guy could really play a guitar. Holy shit.
Yeah.
There's a guy that plays the guitar, and I really like to hear him playing. Actually, there are two of them. This guy was on America's Got Talent, Marcin Przakin or something like that. Man, that guy can just rock the guitar, and he can play.
The only musical instrument I play is the radio.
My wife used to play the skin flute.
I played the drums pretty damn good back in the day.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
I played bass for about 10 years.
Steve, you're having way too much fun.
You guys just walk.
I heard you.
You guys just walk into these things, I tell you.
Unbelievable.
Man, my Windows search does not work anymore. I can't search for a damn thing and find it on the computer. And it used to work so great. But it's just quit.
Maybe you got a virus, Rusty.
I don't think so. I keep a pretty clean machine, but I'll run a Malwarebytes scan. Norton hadn't turned anything up. I'm pretty sure it's not. It's a system setting or something.
Maybe your computer has coronavirus.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I spilled a beer on the keyboard one day. That's probably what it was.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Soak it in
I have
Lysol.
never done that. Soak it in Lysol? Is that what you said?
I'm polishing a little bit on this landing gear mold.
Unbelievable.
I
Are you gonna do a different one now?
made them a little bit longer.
So did you get all your
Bob
molds?
Bishop sent me a
Did you get all your molds done, machined before the
Yeah.
company shut down?
Yep.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah. Are you talking about the new outboard wing and
Yeah.
the new
Yeah,
elevator?
I knew you were starting on them, but I didn't know if you had a chance to get them done
I have
before
them
the
all.
company shut down.
I have them all done. So right now I can mold everything in one day and join the molds on the next day, and pretty much I have a plane at the point. Some little trimming and stuff like that. So yeah, that's cool.
That one you're working on aluminum?
Yeah.
Yeah. But the other one, wheel pants were not aluminum, right? It was composite.
Yeah, I was a PP 1020, which is a tooling board. It's like a urethane plastic that's hardened and it's poured in these big blocks. So you can cut it out, sand it, polish it after that. That's one thing that makes it special is you can sand it and polish it very nicely.
Okay.
So you've all done with all your classes?
No, I still have the finals right now. We're going through the final. Monday is the last day of instruction, and starting this coming week and next week is the final exams. And with that, this semester is over.
Yeah, I was talking to Samantha tonight, and she only has 2 classes left. She's already taken finals on 3 of her classes because it's online, and the teachers let you go as fast as you wanted. So she's already done. She's done with 3 classes. She's got 2 finals left, I guess, is all. She's caught up on everything.
That's good.
But the last 2, one is Monday. She has a final, but 2 of the classes wouldn't let you do them early. They have a day that you got to do it online.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have the luxury on our classes because they keep you on a schedule and they want everybody to be on the same page because the tests that you take, I mean, just right now with all this technology, kids just communicate, they know exactly what they did on their test and so on and so forth. So it's a lot of cheating going on. So teachers are trying to keep everybody on the same page. They test at the same time. So I think it depends on the place where you're at. Yeah. So yeah, I made these molds because they are a little bit longer. I'm trying to make them a little bit lighter legs, and so that's the idea here. The original ones were kind of on the short side. I put them in the wrong position. I have almost no ground clearance right now. So, but you make mistakes in the first one always. But after that, you learn your lessons. You make some new fixtures and stuff like that, and make your life a lot easier on the subsequent ones. Yeah. This is the mold.
Mike, it looks like you're doing a little paper mache.
You see that? Can you see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike's reinforcing. He plans on crashing.
Well, I want to try and finish. Let Tryon finish talking about what he was talking about, and then I'll show you guys what I'm doing.
Go ahead. I'm done.
He's done.
Car bodies. Just got a bunch of them in. We got 4 different new ones. And what I'm doing is using drywall tape, right? So I hit it with the the drywall sticky, and you can put it down, and then you rub shoe goo in there to reinforce the body. But what I found is doing it that way, when you start rubbing it with the shoe goo, the drywall tape moves all over and goes everywhere. So I decided to try some contact cement. I did a yesterday, so I spray it with the contact cement, put the reinforcing tape down, and then it's in there. You probably can't see it. Well, you can see the sides where, but then that keeps it in place. Once that all dries in, then I can take the shoe goo and dump it around because these things, they're pretty flimsy, and if you're racing and bashing all the time, they crack in the fenders, and they crack near the rear wheels, and they crack on the top from rolling over. So if you don't shoe goo the body and do that, you just tear a body up in no time. So that's reinforcing car bodies.
Mike, you could just,
because that's our new hobby now.
Mike, you could probably just put a couple of layer fiberglass inside of that. Just put PVA inside and put a couple of layer fiberglass, and you have a pretty stiff body.
Too heavy and too brittle. There's a bunch of YouTube videos of how to do this, and guys have tried that. See, if you use a fiberglass with a resin, then it's hard and it's just brittle and it still cracks.
Okay.
The shoe goo, if you're more, everybody knows what it is. This is like a hard rubber plastic. So it's flexible.
Yeah, it's flexible.
Malleable.
Flexible. Yeah.
Right. And you do this with the mesh, and the body will flex instead of crack. Who does crack? It stays kind of. It's harder than silicone, than gel silicone. But weight is an issue too. You don't want to add a whole bunch of weight because then you're stressing the motor and the drivetrain and all that.
Yeah.
So I've read.
Years ago, when
I'm learning all the tips and tricks of what you're supposed to do to, just get some longevity out of these bodies. Because these are like $35 a piece, man, and they don't last long. If you're
what?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
You're probably better off just making yourself like a little vacuum table and make a copy of the body and make your own bodies after that. Whatever thickness you want to have.
Suck your own out, yeah.
Yeah. Suck it out, buddy.
I'll do that right after the monkeys fly out of my butt, Tryon. No, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. All right, I say 35, but if you buy 4 of them, they go down to 25. So 100 for 4 bodies, But it's about $5 worth of work to reinforce it. And we get a lot of time out of them, so it's disposable stuff. It's only going to last so long. You try to make it last as long as you can, but you're paying for the pleasure of doing it. So you try to make it last, but nothing's forever, right? Tom, what were you going to say?
Years ago, when my boys lived at home, we would race every weekend, and we had a stadium truck where we raced, an RC10 stadium truck, and we did pretty good. My son has a trophy from some of the races that we won. They would keep score for 6 weeks in a row, and then the top score after 6 weeks to get a trophy.
Yeah, that's cool. We're just a bunch of my friends got these for their kids, and they all started building tracks in their backyard. So we're doing that. Well, we haven't because of coronavirus, but it's us dads and our 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds all got these. We're running slash 4x4s is what we're running. But you probably heard me talk before that the RC club I belong to has a really nice in the same park, and we're all meeting up there on Sunday to go do some racing with the cars and to fly airplanes as well. So I'm just trying to get a couple of car bodies ready, and I tell you, we've gone off the deep end with this stuff ours, and I did, but then I started hopping them up and throwing more money at them, changing the wheel, because we weren't as good as everybody else, and the competition guy in me is like, okay, we can get a little better if we do this, this, and this. And then last week,
there goes the money pit.
I the car completely. I bought a whole brand new next level car. Yeah, dude.
Gone from OSs to PAs.
It's exactly right, Len. Let me see, 600, 500.
Yeah.
I spent about $100 on RC stuff in the last month and a half, man.
Wow.
1,100 on cars. Well, 400 on batteries. Batteries are $50 a piece for these things. So, and I've got 8 batteries now. So I spent $400 on 8 batteries.
Oh.
Just batteries. $400.
Wow.
The cars were $300 a piece. The new car was $500. So just batteries in cars was $1,500, and then another $200 on bodies and shocks, and it's crazy. But I can't let my beer drinking buddies and their boys beat me and Sam. I can't let that happen. Tom.
Yeah, what's the fun in that?
No, we gotta be the best. We gotta be the best. We gotta spend the money and be the hey, trophies and winning power, it costs money. If you want to win, you got to have the right stuff, right? That's how I look at it. And I'm making priceless memories with my son. So what's a few bucks, man? Who cares? Who cares?
My brother used to be into that.
When I'm 8, I sent a little more cars. No.
But when he bought a chassis, and then he'd buy the shocks he wanted and the bearings for this and that, and the wheels and the engine, and I mean everything was piece deal. You bought it and then you built it because he thought that was better than buying it and then
what year was that?
Redoing it.
What year was that?
That was in the 90s.
What year? Yeah, today, I mean, Tractor pretty much sells ready to run short course trucks, but it's still, you got your entry level, you're a little bit better, and then your pro stuff, and it's depending on how much money you want to spend. But even if you get a mid-level truck, it's ready to go. I mean, it's got a brushless motor. You can put a 3S battery in it. It's got a badass drive. It has everything, The problem I had was I bought the beginner level cars, and then I ended up having to throw money at them to get them up to snuff. But from now on, it's just buy it up, because if you buy a lower class car and try to add all the stuff, you've spent more money than you would have if you just had bought the better car to begin with.
Associated is what he rated. He did all associated stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Mike, did you get any?
Yeah, you did associated
did you get
too.
any of that? Mike,
Go ahead,
did you
Rusty.
get any of that RC car stuff I put on the picnic table at Huntersville season before last? I think.
I did. I have
maybe
all
it
the
was
mo.
last season.
Hey, Mike, I got a couple of helicopters.
good.
You think Sam would like to fly helicopters?
We have 3.
He's being a jerk. He's just being a jerk, Mike.
No, I actually have them.
Being a jerk. He's trying to get.
We got some helis.
These are big ones.
Why is he being a jerk, Lynn?
They got.
Because he wants to get you into another hobby and make you spend more money. I know what he's up to. I read him like a book.
We got a few electric helis.
These are. Well, I got 2 electric helis, but I got 2 gas helis with 47s in them or 45s or something. I don't know, 50s. OS motors in them. Never
Are
flew
they
them.
complete?
Yeah, a guy gave them to me.
Okay. Yeah, if they're complete and ready to go, we'll take them out and wreck them. I won't dump any money in them and fix them and try to get them in the air again. But we'll try. We'll try to fly and go once. Yeah.
Yeah, then Sam will be
I
Dad.
take some free gas out of that.
Dad, you got to fix this. I need new carbon fiber blade.
No. No. The caveat for Samuel would be, listen, we got this. It's gonna fly it, but if it breaks, it's too old to get parts for. So too bad.
No,
Just go have fun with it.
I'll let him know that.
Shot deal.
I'll let him know I gave him a good enough one that parts are still available.
No.
Steve,
See what I told you?
He already wants to do the damn the first person view drone shit. He wants to be a drone racing league pilot with the cameras and the goggles and all. He wants to get into that. And I'm like, I said, listen, if that's really what you want to do, you want to fly that kind of stuff, we can do it, but we got to give everything else up. We can't do RC planes, control line, combat, cars, and fly FPV drones too, because it's too expensive. You're going too many directions. Willing to do it, but like you pick one thing that you want to excel at.
I think Sam can
do it
all of that, and his wallet will never be any lighter.
Yeah, his won't. You want a sponsor? Hey, we'll put a Heinz sticker on the side of everything you post, man. Steve Heinz. We'll put your name this big right on the side of everything Sam has. You want to be a sponsor, buddy? You got it.
Well, I'll sponsor
Send me a check,
and then you can do the upkeep.
All right, good night, guys.
Take it easy.
Good night, Trey.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend.
Well, there's a drone racer.
Carbon fiber, all carbon fiber, even the props.
Wow.
I'm trying to see you, Tom. Hold on. There we go. Oh my goodness. You got to back it up.
If you're
right.
Let me give y'all a tip about
That's
showing something.
Hey,
I'll
Tom.
give y'all a little tip.
Hey, just hold it still, Tom. Hold it still, right? Don't turn it. Don't turn it. Just hold it still. There you go. Hold it still. Is there a body on that thing, or do you fly it just like that?
Just like this.
Just like that. Okay.
Tom,
Cool.
keep that on your desk, and the next time Sam gets on, hold that up and show him. That's how fun it is.
Yeah, this has
Unbelievable.
Even the props are carbon fiber on this one.
So, do you race with that Tom, or FPV for you to go? That's not a racer, is it?
It is a racing drone, but I haven't raced it.
Okay, because usually the racers are a lot smaller than that. That's the ones I've seen for FPV are about.
He bought the upgraded one to start out with, so he doesn't have to upgrade.
Okay. All right.
He's got the carbon fiber props and everything, all right from the get-go.
It actually all there. You can loosen up these fittings, and all the arms fold in, so it's real compact.
Have you flown it?
Yeah, I've flown it. I just haven't raced it.
Okay.
When I was at the college working, I was working in one of the labs, and we were actually doing heat. It was in the wintertime. And the engineering students, there were a couple of them were printing out racing drones. I guess they make some kind of a carbon fiber plastic or whatever they can make it out of. And then they were putting their own motors and stuff like that. And they were doing racing someplace on the college grounds. I'm not sure where, but yeah, to save money, they were printing all their stuff up. And then when they crashed, they could reprint another part for it.
Basically just on the 3D printer.
Yep. Yeah, these guys, that's what.
Wow.
It was part of their grading stuff in the engineering, but yeah, their arms would fold in. They were showing them to me. They were really proud of them. They were cooler than shit. But they were trying all kinds of different designs and stuff like that. Honeycomb and stuff to make it lighter but stronger. But yeah, them 3D printers can really do some neat stuff.
Yeah, that's the woodpecker.
Are they hard to fly, Tom?
They're not hard to fly if you're not racing. If you're racing, I think that's a little tougher to hit all the gates and everything. We went to a race.
Okay.
They're hard a race, and
Yeah,
they
they're
fly 80 miles an hour, and then they have gates set up so they fly through all these gates. And there was one tunnel that they had. Some of them would smash into the opening of the tunnel because, they wouldn't quite aim right. But yeah, it's fun to watch a drone, a drone race.
I can fly a drone by watching it, but I don't know about the glasses. But I can't fly one worth the shit on a screen when I'm trying to just look at that screen. I get all screwed up where the hell I'm at, how far I'm away from stuff, and it's hell. I don't know how they do it with the goggles on.
Tom, it's a lot like a combat match when they're racing. I mean, there's carnage. They run into obstacles. They're fixing stuff in between heats. It really is. It's not just as simple as buying one and going and racing it. You're gonna break it. You're gonna wreck it. You're gonna be fixing it in between match, and you probably got to have more than one if you're going to a competition.
Yeah, and I have a
kind of like
you have a couple models.
I have a 12-inch LCD screen that has a scanner that scans for the video frequencies, so I can watch what they see from the drone. I can see the same thing on this screen. So that was really fun to go to a race and see their perspective of the drone flying.
Them guys make good money doing that shit.
That's why Sam
with all the stuff they wreck, it costs them a lot.
Yeah, but they got sponsors that just pay for all their stuff. They got pit crews that rebuild their stuff, and it's like they just go and fly it. I'm like, that'd be a damn good job.
I suppose if you get to that level, the level I was watching, these were just a local group that got together and raced. So it wasn't to that level.
That's Tom. That's what I was talking about. Sam watches Drone Racing League on ESPN.
Yeah,
these are professional guys. They go all around the country. They go all around the world. They go to competition all over the planet, and it's always like the same 6 guys racing each other. And they're playing for $100,000 every time they race. But they're not fixing their own stuff. They're not supplying their own stuff. They're sponsored by the Spectrum guys, the radio guys, the drone guys, the motor guys, the prop guys, the chassis guy. Every part on there is giving those guys a check to be able to go do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, at a local level, it would be very expensive to start doing that. I think you'd be breaking stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Well, that's like Samantha's boyfriend there. He plays one of these damn games on the computer, Warcraft or so, I don't know, whatever it is. But some of their friends they play with all the time for years. He won some kind of tournament and got on a team, and they're paying him like $120,000 a year now to play for the team. I'm like, holy shit. And he's not, I guess he's not even on a good team. That's like a starter team to see if he can work up to get on a better team, because some of them guys are making $1 million a year playing video games.
It's wild.
I mean, now they fill a studio up with people sitting in seats watching a big screen with them playing and stuff.
Here's the first one that I ever built. It's a tricopter.
Okay.
And this is before they became, this was probably 10 years ago when I built this one.
Yeah,
But
you just have.
it unfolds
You
like
have to
this.
know.
I don't have the
You
prop
got to
on
know a
here.
lot of shit to make something like that work.
And this is the tail, the one that I have higher. And
You gotta, Tom, you gotta stop moving it. You gotta stop moving it. Just hold it steady. Get it in front of the camera. Hold it steady. When you move it, it's just a blur. Nobody can see anything. There you go. Just hold it right there.
Yeah. Takes
All
a
right.
couple of seconds for the camera to lock.
Wow.
So
That's big. That thing's huge, man.
this is a tricopter, and since this is 10 years old, they didn't have, there were a few tricopters, but it wasn't very popular. And I bought the gyro board for quadcopter, and then I went online and found a program for a tricopter and downloaded it into the gyro board. But the way this works is the tail rotates, it pivots. You probably can't see. I mean, I know if I move stuff, it doesn't.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, we can see you rolling it.
It connects with a
Yeah, if
servo.
you move it slow enough.
There's a servo that rotates that tail blade to get the yaw, to control the yaw. Because
That's pretty good. Yeah.
a quadcopter has counter-rotating propellers. This one, all the propellers rotate the same direction. And so to get yaw, you have to tilt this tail rotor.
I was going to ask you which way is forward, so that there's a tail rotor and two front rotors.
Yeah, 2 front rotors and 1 tail rotor, correct.
Okay.
So
that's cool. You built that whole thing?
That's cool.
I built the whole thing. I just
impressive
bought
work,
parts.
huh?
Like I said, I built this 10 years ago, before there were a lot of drones and quadcopters and stuff.
That's pretty impressive.
Do you still
I gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, John, you leaving us? Or you got something to say?
Yeah, gotta go.
Okay, man. Have a good weekend.
See you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you too. See you
Take it
guys
easy,
on
John.
Monday.
Hey, John.
Take care, John. We'll see you next week.
You too.
Fair winds. Be safe.
John, hold on. Don't
Thanks.
go yet. John, hold on. Can you hear me?
All right.
I heard you saying you sent the CAD files over to Walt for the Challenger.
Yeah.
If he can, for sure, if he ends up cutting that kit, I would buy one of those.
Okay. Well, he'll probably announce it. Just let him know, okay? Because he'll announce it. He always does.
It
All
looks
right.
looks like a fun little combat model. I definitely.
It was. I enjoyed watching him fly it. I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. Okay, guys.
All right.
Take it easy.
See ya.
All right. Good night. Have a good weekend.
So, Tom, how many times did you wreck that thing when you started flying it, or was it good right off the board?
It worked right away. It was amazing. The only problem I had is I was flying it out over the lake and lost control and it went into the water. So I think I had to replace one of the servo and maybe one of the speed controllers. But everything else worked okay.
Okay.
But that's the only issue I've had is that one time when it went in the water. It flies really well.
Yeah, I got a little one, and I don't know. It's so big, and I took it outside and flying it. Luckily, the son of a bitch has a hold on it, a button you can hit, and it'll stay in place. So the wind got the damn thing, and it was headed for a tree, and I hit that button, and this thing is just fighting the hell out of the wind, trying to keep from going into the tree. And finally, the one knocked down, and I flew it back. And I'm like, well, got to be careful about how windy it is outside with this little one. Because I couldn't get it to even hold. But
I think they have to don't they have to have GPS to do the hold?
It's got something in it. I bought it 2 years ago or was it last year? 2 years ago at Toledo. We were there the last day, and they didn't want to bring shit back, and they were marking stuff way down.
Okay.
And it's got a thing to hold your phone if you want to do it that way. And then you can somehow link it into the phone, and you can fly it off of that. But I didn't dare to do that. That little thing is so hard to see it. I don't know where in the hell I'd go with the phone.
You mean it flies away with your phone on it?
No, you're holding the transmitter.
Okay.
That'd be a good. Put the phone on the damn thing, and all of a sudden you lose it. Son of a bitch.
My phone.
Yeah, there went an $800 quadcopter. Yeah, that'd be funnier than shit.
Yeah, to anybody that was watching.
Yeah. But I like playing around. They're fun to play with out in the backyard on a day when it's not real windy or anything. I do fly it in the house in the front room and stuff. Just get used to it, turning it and stuff like that, and flying it at me, away from me, up and down in every direction. So I, get the damn stick control. I'm still not very good at it, but how the hell them guys fly them things like they do, I don't know.
Like Mike was talking about a few weeks ago, the Mantis helicopter was really hard to fly. It had no gyros or anything. I had one of those.
No gyro.
With a 40 gas engine in it. And
that is the Supermanus, Tom. The Supermanus.
Okay.
Which I think was the second version.
These tricopters and quadcopters are so much easier to fly than those helicopters that had no gyro in them at all.
I remember guys I used to fly with, this one guy, his son, he wanted to get into helicopters. And he got that, and he had this big ass fixture hooked on it. Just to try to learn how to hover the damn thing, because there was no gyro in that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And it took him about $1,000 worth of parts to finally be able just to fly it.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, let me ask you about the gyro. Does it have an output signals that go to the ESC that vary the blade speeds when it needs to stabilize the chopper? Is that
Yeah.
what happens?
Yes, exactly. And the gyros are all solid state. There's no moving parts. They're 3-axis control, so controls roll, pitch, and yaw.
What sort of accelerometers it got in it?
It's they're called
Is
a MEMS.
A magnetometer? Is that what it is?
MEMS.
Let me make that
Here's
big.
one right here. Can you see that?
I'm about to. I'm waiting for it to pop up. Now I got it.
There's one
The little
there.
white thing. Yeah.
They're silver. They're actually silver, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
And there's 3. There's this one and that one, and then there's one on a board that's mounted vertically for the other axis.
Is it magnetic? Is that how it works? A magnetometer with the Earth's magnetic field that knows what's happening?
No, I think I'm not sure the exact principle. Here's the other one that's mounted this way.
I guess that was a dumb question. So.
I don't think they're magnetic. I think it works by. It's a solid state device, and I think it works by.
If it's inertial, I would have thought it had moving parts, but you said no moving parts. So I don't know how you'd have inertial with no moving parts.
Probably accelerometers in it.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, you have to look it up and see. I've never really looked in depth on how they work.
It's fun to be an engineer, isn't it? You can do all kinds of stuff a lot of other people can't do. You did a great job on the robots too. So.
Well, I know on an airplane, because I was just looking at one. You gotta take and level the airplane and get it on something that everything's set and level and measure it. Then you put the damn 3-axis controller in it and try to mount that level. But then somehow you turn it on, you program it to say, okay, this is level. And once it's in there, then it knows where the airplane's at, and if it's nose up, nose down, whatever. When you hit it, it'll bring it back to level flight. Or when you're landing, it'll keep the wings level. It'll actually add rudder and repitch the airplane for you and stuff like that.
Yeah, these, you have to have it sitting level when you first power it up. And
yeah, that gives it its reference.
That gives it the reference, correct. And then, if you can see there, right here, there are 3 potentiometers.
Yeah.
And you can adjust the sensitivity of the X, Y, and the Z, or the roll, pitch, and yaw axis.
Yeah.
And the way you can tell is when it's flying, if it's oscillating, then you know that you have the gain too high. So you have to reduce the gain for that axis.
Yeah, just before you crash, you're like, well, the next airplane, I need to turn that down a little bit. Because I was reading that, and it was saying how to do that. And it's like, well, here you put it in an unstable airplane to help you out, and then you have it set wrong. That's going to be a lot of help to you trying to get it back on the ground.
You should have a switch on your transmitter that enables or disables it. So if you have something backwards, then it's like having the ailerons hooked up backwards on a radio-controlled airplane. It gets to be a handful. So at least if you can disable it, if something's wrong, or you can test it out though before you fly it. You can see the control surfaces move when you when you tilt the airplane,
Yeah.
just having it in your hand. So,
well, what was funny was we had some guy that he finally came out to the RC field and it got help, but he thought that he could get an RC airplane, put one of them in there, and then learn to fly himself. Well, when he didn't have it set up right, he couldn't fly the damn airplane.
yeah.
So he ended up crashing the one airplane and got another one and stuff like that. And was like, well, yeah, you have to know a little about how to fly,
Right.
when to flip the switch or whatever. But
He probably thinks they all make it look so easy. He just assumed he could do it.
yeah, I can do this. I got all this down, and this will help me. So yeah, I'm good to go.
That's what I thought about the stunt pattern back when I was still flying half A, and I could do screaming loops and big giant fast lazy eights and all that. And I thought I learned that there was a contest pattern, and I thought, oh man, that ought to be easy. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, I got this.
It's once your brain goes into overdrive because shit ain't going right, that's when it's bad. Yeah, you can take off and it's like, hey, I'm flying until you forget what you did last, and all the things going to the ground. You're like, oh shit, just moving sticks all over the place until it goes to whack.
What's funny is to see a full-size pilot fly remote control for the first time.
Oh yeah,
because they're used to being in the plane.
Yeah.
And as soon as the plane starts flying towards them, then they're bound to get some controls backwards.
Yeah, it helps if you look over your shoulder at it, I guess.
Full scale pilots suck at RC. I can't even tell you the number of guys we had in the 70s and 80s come out to Detroit Aeromodelers with their RC planes. I don't need any help. I fly a 182, man. I got this. And like you said, boy, they could take off and they make that first bank. As soon as the airplane come back at them, man, it was sticks of flying and I don't need any help. I'm a real pilot. I have a pilot's license. I don't. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just doesn't fly backwards.
Go on, show us how it's done.
Well, that's like when I worked at Guardsman, because I flew radio control for so long. I'd be on the headsets talking to somebody, another millwright or whatever, bringing something in. And if anyone else had to help them, they had to be going with them to go tell them to go left or right or whatever. And I could stand any place and tell them low left for them. I said, just you go the way I tell you. And people are like, how the hell you do that? Tell them to go right when.
Do you say right stick, left stick?
No, I don't. I just because he got a steering wheel, so I'll just I go little right, little more. Raise it up, lower it down, get it high stuff. So they always had me do it because I could direct them from the side, from the back, from the front. But it was just from flying RC so much that it was just natural for me to think like I was always in that thing driving it. It wasn't trying to think, hey, it's coming at me, so everything's backwards.
When I taught Samuel to fly RC, when I first started teaching him 2 years ago, I made it very clear right from the beginning. If I'm telling you left, 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 that means you're going to go left stick, not make the plane go left. It's always what I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's what I was
down,
thinking.
Left, right.
Yeah.
That's stick input. That's stick input, not make the plane go left. It's always stick input.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's got it now.
Yeah, once it finally registers in your brain, it's something you don't even think about.
Well,
But
when you're flying remote
I haven't
controlled
thought about it
airplanes,
since I was
it has
10
to
years
come
old.
natural.
But you know, Tom, we're talking about this, and for me, that's something I haven't thought about in 40 years because I've learned it from flying RC planes and from cars too, RC cars and boats. You know, when it's coming at you, it is hard to teach someone brand new that whole thing when the thing's coming at them. You know, they want to go to the left, and they're giving right. They're giving right. You know, it's I don't know. It does become second nature after you do it for so long. You know, I don't even give it a second thought now. But for the newbies, you got to explain that to them for sure. If it's coming at you, everything's backwards, and it takes a little bit for them to get that. You know.
Right?
Yeah, it's a reflex. It's got to be a reflex.
You know, it's like I got away from RC for about 10 years, and then me and my brother decided we're going to fly again, got an airplane. And I could fly, but I mean, I was really having to think, and it was just screwing with me, you know, to do a decent turn or stuff like that. Well, we went out to the field, and it was kind of windy, and it was crosswind. Well, I go to take off, and there's just a huge gust of air. And it blows me right at a telephone pole. And this telephone pole had a guide wire coming down. And all of a sudden, my brain kicked back in 10 years ago, back when I flew all the time. I did a knife edge between the telephone pole and the guide wire. Come out.
Damn.
And my brother's like,
Select move.
he's like, holy shit, you remember again, huh? The airplane's done. I'm like, nope, I did for a second there.
That's a pretty slick move.
Yeah, but it was because it was an emergency and my brain just went back to memory. When I was trying to really think about what to do, I couldn't. But after about a week, it got back to where I didn't have to think again anymore. But for that first week, though, I was having a hell of a time. I'm like, damn, I really forgot how to fly.
I've only ever flown one RC flight, and that was a squishy foamy that my club president Jim Malik had over at Fort Jackson, and it had a mid-engine with a prop on a pylon in the center of the plane to protect it. It had a cage around it, and so you couldn't really hurt it when it hit the ground. It just squashed, and so I flew it, and he told me what to do, but I managed to work the controls. I did have driving RC cars under my belt. You know, I could do that, so I knew about coming and going, and did okay. I flew it all the way across the field and turned around. You know, I learned to add throttle as I make the turn, how it bled off energy, and you have to keep up with it. And flew it back, and flew it to us, and then around to make another go, and then got up and down mixed up and crashed it bang straight into the ground right there. I was going to go for another round, but I did make one good circuit. What's that radio sound again?
Whenever you talk, Rusty, it
Not
comes
me.
in. That's the only time we hear it
Not
is when
me.
you're talking.
Really? Okay. Well, there's
I,
no other tabs. It must be coming through YouTube on my YouTube studio, but I don't have anything that's not supposed to be open. You're right. It does only come and go, and it fades in and out when I start talking. It's just crosstalk. I think it's other people holding shows, and since I've got the link to YouTube right here, then that's what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, back when I started to fly, there was no such thing as a buddy cord. You had to pass the
Me too.
You know, you had to pass her back and forth. What?
I said me
Yeah,
too.
y'all had
Pass
to-
the transmitter.
Yeah, pass the transmitter. Then they came out with a buddy cord.
Wow.
Big old antennas too.
And then now my new one,
What?
it'll pair electronically with another one like it. you don't even have to have a damn cord stuck in between it anymore. I mean, stuff has just come so far that, you know, that used to be the other thing too. Once we got the deal with a buddy cord, just screw with your buddy, take it over and make it do all kinds of shit and watch him just go nuts.
Nice.
We used to do that. You know, have them do a real hard bank and come in and then just take it over and fly it knife edge, and they're trying to get it back, have it headed towards the ground. But yeah, that was.
I learned on a buddy box. It was good. It
Yeah.
was easy. It wasn't too bad.
That's what I did all
I
afternoon
really
today.
sucked at it.
You learned on a buddy box.
Wait a minute. Wait
No, I was on my.
a minute.
Yeah.
Cliff said something. We better listen. Gary's talking.
Well, Gary,
All right,
I'm
Gary,
I'm on real flight on the computer.
Oh,
yeah,
So I was flying there, and then on RC groups, they got a group on there now. They made a thing so you can get on and fly with other people. And so I was on there with them. That was neat.
Yeah, we do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, that's how I tried to learn to fly a helicopter.
Yeah,
It was on the real flight because I mess around all the time, you know, different airplanes and shit like that. But I thought that I'd try to
what
learn
do I
to
need?
fly a helicopter.
What do I need to get? What do I need to buy in order to do that?
you need the real flight simulator. I think it might be up to 9 now. Sam bought
Yeah,
Real
it
Flight
is.
8
Yeah, this is
year.
5.
with his money, $170 from Amazon shipped.
Uh-huh.
$170, and you need Windows 10 or better to run it.
Got that.
But Gary,
Okay.
what you were saying, those group flies, Gary, are awesome.
I know
on
it.
the Real Flight.
Yes.
I belong to a couple of different groups where we get
Yeah.
together and fly with other people that we know. That's so much fun.
Oh yeah, that's a
So
lot
much
better than
fun.
over yourself. Just
You got
Nice.
all of them, huh, Tom?
All of them.
And do you
Oh
have
my
maps
God.
of real
What's the
terrain?
latest version?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Lots of different fields.
Yeah, you
Rusty,
get,
it's crazy.
get in the
man.
plane and
It's
fly it, looking out the plane window.
I
And,
want to do.
or,
I want to do that.
different views. There's chase view. You can be in the plane. You can be like you're standing at the field with a transmitter.
Yeah.
There's listen, man, it's way more than you can imagine.
yeah, and you don't
Believe
lose any
Hardware
planes.
that I need. What kind of controller do I need?
There's one coming,
Comes
but
with it.
It comes with a transmitter.
Comes with it.
It comes with a transmitter.
You get,
Let Tom show you. Tom's got one.
you get a radio with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah,
So this is about $70 investment.
I got the old.
Is that what
No.
you said?
170.
170.
170.
The latest version.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, the new version is too is that I got a cord and I can hook my actual transmitter up now and fly off my own transmitter and I can take and trim
Yeah,
a bunch
but I don't
of
have a
it and all that kind of stuff.
Hey,
I'm
Tom,
just
you
interested
can put
in
them down now.
minimum
We'd rather
entry.
see you.
yeah, Rusty.
Rusty,
I get one.
$170 and a computer that runs Windows 10 or newer is going to be the
Got
latest version of it. Yeah. That's
Okay.
what you need.
It's
That's
a
what
lot
you
of
need.
fun.
Got it.
Can you use it on a? Can you hook
Maybe
it
I'll
into a
do that for
laptop?
Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right,
you
mine.
go to a laptop.
The same one
What
I'm
about a
using right here.
tablet? Can you do it with a tablet?
Okay.
What I want to
Probably not, because it's Rusty. You probably cannot do that because it's a disk. You got to download disk into your hard drive to run. So you cannot do it on an iPad.
Okay.
You need a laptop that has a drive. You got to have a CD-ROM drive, and the bigger your monitor, the better that it is.
This one,
Real Flight 10.
This one needs
There you go.
a gaming computer to run it. So I wouldn't recommend this one unless you have a gaming computer.
Nah, not even close.
You need a really powerful graphics card to run this one.
Yeah. Nah. And my mother,
The
of course,
latest
only
version,
got
is it?
8 gigs
Okay.
too.
We're running 8 or 9 times.
Yeah,
think
I
we're
would
running
recommend
8 or
that.
9 right
I would
now.
recommend that.
I tell you, once in a while you can find these. I think I paid $49 for it when they end up getting rid of it. That's a Hangar 9 deal, but now it's all real flight. But I loan this out to kids all the time to let them learn how to fly. The graphics aren't as good and stuff, but it's good enough for practice. And once a kid does it on this, now he can go out and fly a damn airplane. It's not a big deal at all.
That sounds good enough for me. I could do that starting out.
Yeah, and you get
if
the little
Real
FS
Flight 8
or
or 9,
One at a time,
8 or
please.
9, 8 or 9 might be able to be had for $100 now.
Yeah.
If 10 is up 9, you might be able to find it for $100, Rusty.
Yeah. I'm sure I can find
Would you
good
agree?
deals on
Would
it.
you agree, Tom?
You have to be careful because some of the $100 programs don't come with the transmitter. So make sure that you get the program and the transmitter together. The package.
Right.
It's worthless without the transmitter.
But this one here's a 5, and I still have a blast with it. I haven't
7.
even upgraded.
I'm way back at 4.
I got 7.5.
That's a really good one too. 7.5 has a lot in it.
Well, one thing is with this is that you can upgrade and get other airplanes and shit like that when new stuff comes out. You just don't get the graphics but you can get all kinds of damn airplanes and new airports and
Say it again. This is Real Flight. Real Flight. Is that the name of it?
Real Flight.
Okay.
Yep. I got an idea. Screw all this control line stuff, man. Let's all get Real Flight in, and we'll
meet online.
Start having a Friday night control line be at.
Hell yeah.
I'll go
We can
for
go
that.
fly and fly over each other's
Well, no, what we could
I'm
do
in for that.
what we could do is
That
everyone that has a Real Flight sim, if everyone gets the version and we can all join up, we could do like a Saturday night fly in with RC Real
awesome.
Flight stuff.
Yeah.
The Stunthangar guys on Real Flight. We could meet at an airport somewhere and all fly together.
Jeff
Rusty,
let's do it. That'd be amazing.
You can create a group.
Jeff Riley's in this
create a
conversation too.
You can create a group and then just invite people and say, hey, we're flying at 9:00 under this name on the live fly on Real Flight. And then you just click on, you look for live fly and bam, you see the name of the group. You join the group and you can have microphones. You can even talk while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You can talk to each other while you're flying.
What I want to do is get a newer version, put it on my laptop, and then hook it into my TV. So I got a great screen.
I got into a live flying stuff. I got to watch Sam when he's on the live flying stuff with groups because some of those guys have some pretty blue language in there when they're flying.
Oh, okay.
So I got to be careful when Sam is in there because a lot of these guys are like F-bomb, C word, S word, F-bomb, F-bomb, F-bomb. It's pretty bad in some of those groups.
18 and older groups.
I have a 27
on this
4K monitor for mine.
Oh, okay.
But on this group, we're all 12 and under.
Hey, Jeff Riley just said he had one that he can't use on his Mac. let's see. He says, I'll send you my real flight sim if you want. I can't use it with my Mac. He says he has the controller and I think up to Real Flight 3.
There you go.
That sounds like good.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah, that'll give
You're
you.
good to
Thanks,
go.
Jeff.
that'll work.
That you'll get
Said,
to
hell yeah,
see,
Jeff.
you'll get to see if you like it, Rusty. Before you know
Yeah.
what'll happen.
Real Flight 3's okay.
You'll get the
That's
you'll get the
generous
Mike
of you,
Clancy
Jeff. Thanks.
syndrome and end up spending a bunch of money upgrading.
That's
Yeah, we'll never
generous,
see
Jeff.
you
Thanks.
again.
I appreciate it. I'll send you something in return too.
Okay,
I don't
hold
know
on.
what, but
Everybody let Rusty
I-
talk for a second. Everyone let
That's
Rusty talk for a second.
I just said, I was just telling Jeff, thanks, that's really generous of you. I'll send you something in return too. But yeah, hell yeah, man, that's cool. I appreciate it.
That's
I sure
awesome.
had a ball
That's
this
all I have to
afternoon.
say.
Yeah.
Say what?
Well,
What'd you
more
say?
fun this afternoon than what I've had just
Oh.
practicing on my own. You know.
Yeah, it's a hoot. Hey, Len,
If
did
we
you
all-
say
If we all
It's
got
12.
together and did that, it'd be a blast.
so?
Where do you
12
fly,
and
Gary?
under.
What's that?
12 and under. That means 16 and under Canadian, right?
That's right. You better believe it.
With the exchange rate. With the exchange rate.
Yeah, that's about right. That's about right.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you what, though, it's a lot harder flying in
yeah.
a simulator than it is a real RC airplane. Your depth perception is way off.
Which
Yeah.
one's harder?
Simulator.
Yeah.
I can land a RC
No.
airplane at
My
McPhee,
depth.
but I get on that simulator, shit, I'm out in the field, I'm into clothes, there's no depth perception there for me for some reason.
Well, because you have no peripheral. You don't have. You don't have the big peripheral.
Yeah.
That's why. Because you can't turn your head like that and see what's over.
Yeah.
Or turn your head and see what's here on the sim. It's all in front.
Yeah.
That's
Right
what
now,
makes it hard.
A lot of
I have the same
people,
problem. Line up on the runway and
yeah, a lot of people like, oh, I could never do this. I'm like, yeah, you could actually, because this is a lot harder. Because Samantha's like, I could never land that airplane where I want it. Neither can I really. I kind of guessed. I think that's about it. And all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, do a go around.
Hey, I'm the opposite, but I'm Canadian. I can fly on the sim, but I can't fly the real one. Where the shit? I put the real one in a tree and had to cut the tree down to get the airplane out.
Well, what it is
Have
that.
you ever seen that?
Go ahead, Rusty.
Have you ever seen that video on YouTube where the helicopter trainer has a student in the chopper? It's a little Robinson, or maybe even, I think it's a Robinson, and they spot somebody at like this mansion flying a P-51 foamy, and it gets stuck in a pine tree, and they fly up next to it, and the passenger leans out and gets a hold of the plane, and they back out. It scared the crap out of me, but they didn't chop the tree, and they landed on the field and gave it back to the kid and his dad. And I talked to him for a few minutes and then took off.
I've seen it, Rusty.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
I've seen it. They rescued an RC plane out of a tree with a real helicopter. The guy reaches out, grabs the plane, and they bring it back to the field. Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
What it is.
Yeah, I put my neck. Yeah.
If you take that little red button to restart off of your transmitter, and have to reboot every time you crash, you won't crash as much. Everybody's like, oh, just push the button. It ain't like that in real art when you're flying out at the field with real RC.
It's just like control line. When you whack it, you spend 6 months fixing it. I know.
Your airplane goes whop into the ground, and you're looking at your transmitter for that damn red button who's not there.
Yeah, you don't get a reset.
All right.
I know I plowed my next star in a couple of times. It's a bugger to fix it. It's just like fixing a bad control line crash.
Now,
Maybe worse.
everyone that starts RC should start with a glider. Everyone should start with a 2-channel glider first.
That's what I did. I started with a gentle lady.
Start with a 2-channel glider.
A gentle lady with an 049 on the top. Yeah.
And it does two things. It teaches you how to fly an elevator, and it teaches you how to dead stick land too, because you're dead sticking every time.
Exactly.
You should know if you're flying RC power, you should know you should be able to dead stick any RC plane the same wrecking it. So it should be a glider to start, then a high wing 40 size trainer, then you move to a low wing 40 size, something like a Chaos or something like that. But everybody wants to buy they want to have the cool biplane right off the bat,
or a Spitfire right off the bat. Look out.
Yeah. You can't. You got to learn. You got to start. You got to start with the half A slabby, and then you move to the SV11 with the PA. You go through everything in the deal, unless you got a lot of money and you don't care.
Well, I was like, I always hated stick landings. I just hated them. I bought a Fox 6.
I love them.
And stuck on an
My buddy
airplane.
Wayne has been building a sailplane all winter, a full size one, and he's really into the model one too. But he's almost through with it, and it's a hobby from way back. He says when he got his full size power plane license that he was uneasy about landing under power, and his instructor didn't want him to land dead stick. Wayne asked him, and finally he talked him into it. I don't know if it's his first flight or not, but he dead stick landed it the first time.
That's illegal. That's big time illegal. But yeah, my instructor did that also. Reached over and took the key out of the ignition and said, "Okay, I want to see you land this at that airport." And I did it. And when they found out that he did that to me, they fired him because that's against that.
Oh, crap.
You can't do spins anymore either. You can't practice spins, and you can't practice a real dead stick landing.
Did he tell you?
Fly inverted?
Did he tell you not? How did they find out? Did he tell you not to tell anybody?
No, he didn't say nothing. I just, when I got back, because I had to take a ride with another instructor before I got to take my final ride with the FAA. So they sent me up with him, and I got back, and my instructor's, he's like, "Well, what'd you think?" and all this and stuff like that. I said, "God damn, it scared the shit out of me when he took the damn key out of the ignition. I had to dead stick that airplane in." He's like, "What?" Yeah, and I told her, "I'm sorry, I didn't know that was illegal. I just, I was like, oh my God, I never practiced this before."
Well, that was on him then.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
I've done a loop before with an instructor too that I wasn't supposed to do it with, but I asked to do that.
All right,
No shut.
Was you drinking champagne too when you did the loop?
No champagne. That was in a 172. That's not rated for loops.
That's a high
Did
winger,
you do 4-foot bottoms?
Yeah.
Probably.
I got a better one than that.
I'm all
one at a time.
good for me as long as my instructor does try to do a 4-leaf clover with 4-foot bottoms.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so scary in a real airplane. Oh my goodness.
Just a
Well, I was like, I used to take girls up and stuff in the airplane and stuff, and I took this one girl up. She's like, "Nothing scares me," And I'm like, "All right." So I did a stall, and she's like, "Oh,
you know what?
A stall." I stalled the airplane out. So
right.
She's like, I just wasn't right. I've never did nothing like that. That really didn't scare me and stuff. So I thought to myself, I said, okay, we'll do another one. So I did a high-speed stall. And I mean, I was hauling ass when I went in that thing. And it went up and stalled and fell on its back upside down. You can't. Right. She screamed so loud that I thought I was going to go deaf. Scared the shit out of me because I thought I was going to crash because I couldn't get the son of a bitch off its back. And
wow,
I finally, turned the ailerons and flipped it over and stuff like that. And I had dig marks in my arm where she screamed and went, ah! Then she's like, you take me back right now. You take me back. I said, okay. I was ready to go back.
Yeah, I bet.
But that's what
do y'all know what
doing around.
Do you know what a Cessna Grand Caravan is? Everybody?
I don't know.
No, I don't.
It's a flying box, isn't it? The Grand Caravan.
It's a turbine. It's the one turbine option from. It's called a Cessna Grand Caravan. It has a turbine engine in it, and it'll haul 20 people. And we used one as a jump plane for years in Michigan. And we had a pilot there. He was an ex-Vietnam pilot. And I used to go for rides with Bob, and we would dump the load of skydivers out, and I'd be flying right seat with Bob. And he would loop this Cessna Grand Caravan on the way down and do barrel rolls with this thing. If you saw a picture of a Grand, it's a Cessna on steroids with a turbine engine that can haul 20 people. They use them all over the place. And I actually had brownouts in this airplane with Bob. He would pull so many G's in this plane, I would pass out when he was doing these loops and barrel roll in this thing. This is not an aerobatic rated airplane, and you're not supposed to be doing that stuff. That's what. No, I mean, he kept it all within the airspeed and parameters and stuff. You know, he wasn't exceeding the airspeed. But you're talking about looping a Cessna. I looped in a big giant Cessna that had a turbine engine on it. If you ever get a chance to Google a picture of a Cessna Grand Caravan, or see one flying in, it's a big airplane. It ain't.
Probably
it ain't no Cessna or Piper Cub, man.
How many engines?
Not much more aerodynamic.
Just one, Rusty.
Single engine.
Single engine.
Yeah. It's a single engine turbine, but it's a workhorse. It's a cargo plane around most of the world. It flies freight and cargo. They use them a lot in Alaska. They fly them on skis and on floats. It's got a big pod that can go on the bottom of the fuselage to cargo and stuff. But they make great jump planes though, because it's a turbine airplane that'll haul 20 people to 15,000 feet in about 13 minutes. It's a rocket.
And it's a high winger. Yeah. High winger, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a Cessna 172 on steroids is what it is. It's 3 times as big as the 172, but it's got a turbine engine on it. It's got a PT6, Yeah. But I've done aerobatics in that. Not in an air for just because the deal at the drop zone was if I wasn't jumping, I would often ride right seat either in the Caravan or we flew a Twin Otter for a lot of years too. If you know what a de Havilland Twin Otter is, twin engine turboprop.
I know that one. Yeah, I know that plane.
We flew that. And if I wasn't working and jumping, I'd just go jump in the right seat and go up with the pilot to dump the load. And, even the descent on a Twin Otter, after they dump the load, they'd roll the airplane over and point it straight at the ground. Just to load. I actually have pictures. I'll have to pull one up at some time I have pictures of me being the last one out of the caravan skydiving with the video guy. So I got a tandem passenger with me. I got a video guy. So there's three of us airplane, and Bob used to roll the airplane over, point it straight at the ground, and the picture is me in free fall with the caravan passing us about 50 feet away, just 50 feet clearance. But the airplane free fall, and the airplane is right there. It was amazing.
When
it was amazing. And the fun thing, being in the plane on those rides, after the last person left, Bob would roll the airplane and diving to the ground. You look out the window and there's somebody in free fall, not even 50 or 100 feet away from you. That was a hell of a view. A lot of fun.
We're in Wisconsin when I was married, and my one stepson wanted to always go on a helicopter and shit. Well, I had this guy that was giving helicopter rides, and he was a Vietnam helicopter pilot, and we just got in this little Bell with the all glass, dome on it, like you see on MASH.
Yeah,
A bubble.
Yeah.
A bubble deal.
Whirly bird.
So I told the guy,
I love those.
I said, I want to go on a real ride. You said that you flew in Vietnam and stuff like that. I said, I want to go for a good ride. So does he. He said, all right. Wrong thing to say. I mean, he was doing turns and stuff, and you hear them blades go, ah, and the damn airplane's not even moving. It sucks around. He's doing all this different shit. And we're like, holy cow, we're coming back. And he says, you like a roller coasters? And Matt said, yeah. He goes, check out this roller coaster ride. Somehow he sucked that son of a bitch helicopter down. I about pissed my pants. I mean, I couldn't even go. I was like, and we just stopped like 50 feet off the ground. And I'm like, holy shit. I got out of that. I said, I'm never asking a Vietnam pilot to take me on a really good ride ever again in my life. Because it scared the shit right out of me. I didn't know you could do all that. But yeah, he must have turned the blades backwards or something and pushed us down because, I mean, we were hauling butt down towards the ground.
Damn, can you pitch the blades that far around?
I don't know what he did, but
Guess so.
he came down fast, and I was worried when we stopped, it was like a big spring. I'm thinking, them rotors are going to just go flying right off this damn thing, and then we're headed down the other.
That would be my main worry.
But it all got over so quick that there wasn't a whole lot of worrying. Then we landed and we got out of that thing, and I looked at my stepson and said, you want to do that again? He just shook his head no.
And then you went and changed clothes. Huh?
Yeah. Underwear.
Dennis, you hanging in?
I'm hanging in.
Looks like Mike's totally frozen.
What's up?
He just says,
No, I'm here.
No,
I'm here. I'm trying to find a picture for you guys so that you know my story.
Somebody's doing something with RC. I heard beep,
just
beep,
the
beep, beep,
bullshit. I have proof.
I had proof, but I threw away that underwear.
The closest I ever got to closest I ever got to a Cessna Grand Caravan was a Dodge Grand Caravan, and it was a loop.
A little bit different.
All right, well, here.
Hey, Steven.
I'm going to share.
No.
I'm going to share a picture. I'm
Doing good.
Here's a Grand
All
Caravan.
right.
Here's a Grand Caravan that I jumped out of, and this was 4th of July weekend, 2003, and that's why I got red, white, and blue hair. But that's me taking a tandem guy out of a Grand Caravan.
That's cool.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we see
awesome.
you. We really can't see the plane very well.
I'm still waiting for it. Here it comes.
You
Okay,
got it,
yeah,
Rusty?
I see that. Yep.
Okay. So that's just a tandem exit
okay.
from a Cessna Grand Caravan back in the day. Let me see if I can.
Yeah. Look at the look on that guy's face. He's like, I'm dying.
Okay, I'll stop sharing. You guys can find a better picture of the plane in a dive or something.
Steven. Well, you've been out in the sun?
Yes.
You've been out in the sun, haven't you?
No, really?
What's that?
Hey, Steve.
Not much. Not really. Not really.
Your face looks like you got a hell of a tan. It's a little red or whatever. Maybe it's the just the picture. You fly that new plane?
Not yet. I just got it done. I'm going to fly it this weekend.
Hey, Mike, are they not meant to wear helmets? Supposed
It's
to wear
all done.
helmets?
What is it?
No.
What is it?
It's
This
his
is
own
an
design.
Eternal. It's my own design. It's an Eternal.
Cool. Nice.
So I got this all done.
Hang on, we'll take a
week.
look at
Now
it. I think Mike.
I'm going to put it up this weekend. See how we do.
What it come out for weight? What
Are you still
size?
trying to screen share, Mike?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No.
What weight did it
No,
come out
I'm
at?
not.
And what's the wingspan?
You guys go ahead.
I came out at 62 ounces.
Okay.
Good deal.
What size
with
engine?
With a Tiger 51, and I came in at 62 ounces. So
Nice.
That's pretty good.
That'll be fine.
Looks good.
That'll be fine. You wouldn't want to be any heavier, but that's fine.
Yeah. Well, the Tiger 51 is it's a good, powerful motor, but it's a little heavier motor than other motors, like my Stalker.
Is it
motors.
reworked or out of the box? Is it reworked or out of the box?
It's a Tom Lay motor.
Okay, it'll be fine. It'll be good.
It's a Tiger 51. All my Tiger 51s I had reworked by Tom Lay.
Yeah, see, Tom Dixon does mine.
Yeah. Tom Dixon does a nice job on motors. I had him do quite a few motors for me already.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the
he does
Dixon
good work,
motors were the Stalker 46s. And I wanted to get one, and then I said, I got this motor here, and it's new since I had it worked on. It was a new motor, and I had it reworked by Tom Lay. I never used it, and then I said I wanted to put it into a plane, so I built this plane with it for it. The only difference is the Tiger 51 is like a 12.5 ounce motor. The Stalker is an 8.3 ounce motor.
Yeah, but keep in mind, the Stalker 46 doesn't have nearly the power of that Tiger 51.
These have more power. The Tiger 51 has more power than the Tiger 60. The Tiger 51 squarehead has more power than the Tiger 60 does.
Yeah, it's a very powerful motor. They're good. No problem.
Yeah, I have one. I got 3 of these Tiger 51s. I have one of them still. I have one in my Brodak jet, and I run that real rich. And good 2.4 brake that takes off like nobody's business. This one here runs nice. I had this in this one here, and then I also have another one still in the box, new, which was one of Tom Lay's last motors he ever made. He ever reworked before he passed. I keep that one in the box. I won't touch it.
What's the wing area of that airplane?
What's that?
The one there. What's the wing
one here?
area on that airplane? Yeah.
About 630, 640.
You'll You'll be fine. It's good. See, the one I'm flying with mine is about 670, and it's fine.
Yeah. This one here, it's about 630, 640, about 640. 56 and a half inch wingspan. 2 1/8
mine's a 60-inch span. And mine weighs 60 ounces. And it's fine with the Tiger 51.
That Tiger 51 pulls it. I've flown Tiger 51s and I pulled heavier airplanes already. I've used the Tiger 51 and pulled a 70-ounce airplane with them.
Damn, I got a 72
You
inch
can
span.
pull it, but it doesn't really work.
Hey, Len, I got a 72 inch span at 195 pounds. I don't think I'm ever getting off the ground.
No.
She came out real nice though. And I got it all rubbed out.
What's on the back of your hand, Mike?
Nice one, Mike.
Lettering's on there. I got.
There's a good picture of the Grand Caravan.
That's a good picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice picture.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now.
In fact, I had already looked it up. I meant to tell you, but I couldn't get a word in. I had a whole page of them up on Google a minute ago on my telephone. I can't use the Google on the computer during the video show, though. Yeah,
So
it's a big old plane.
Me.
20 people.
That's me taking
big side
some random person on a tandem skydive, and then my buddy with a video camera on his head. He was shooting video, and he took still photographs of the exit after we left the airplane.
Nice.
Cool.
Is that an altimeter on the back?
And that first picture, that guy that student.
Yes, that is. Say again?
Wait a minute, Steve. Hang on. Asking Mike a question. Did you hear my question, Mike?
I did not.
You're breaking up really bad, Rusty. I think he's froze out now.
Sure is.
Oh, there he moved
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad, Rusty.
What's your question, Rusty?
I am. Okay. Hang on. I'll refresh the page. I'll be right back.
Steve, to answer your question, yes, that is an altimeter that is on my hand.
Oh, okay.
So that I know when the planet is getting big and it's time to open a parachute. Yes. And if you look real close, you can see there's a little red part in there. Right? Little sliver of yellow, which you can't see, but you can see like the red part.
I can see the red.
Part
I can see the red.
The red part is the oh shit part. That's you better if the needle's in the oh shit part, you better do something.
You know, when I lived in my Grand Caravan for 3 months and I fell out the side in the morning, I used to look like that.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I lived in my caravan for 3 months a couple of years ago.
I'm going to share one more picture and then I'll stop.
All right.
This is, I had about 10 jumps when this picture was taken. I paid a video guy out and took pictures of me because I wanted pictures of me skydiving. And he took one right at opening. You can't really see my face, but I had about 10 or 11 skydives, and he snapped that picture right when I opened my parachute. Shoot.
That's when you're first learning, huh?
Huh.
First learning. Yeah. First learning.
Look how limber you were.
Look what a goober I was.
Weren't we all?
Man. Pro-Tech. They made you wear it, though. If you weren't a licensed skydiver, they made you wear a helmet. Once you get a license, you don't have to wear a helmet anymore, and you don't have to wear shoes. It's up to you. So pretty much every picture after I have a license, no helmet, no shoes. I'm barefoot, no helmet. Because that stuff ain't going to save you if you impact the planet at 120 anyway.
Well, at least they didn't make you wear socks, Mike.
In my original question, I never heard the answer. Is the student look like he didn't have it on? And that's what I was asking about.
You broke up, Rusty. Student what?
Still
Did
didn't
not
hear
have
you.
a helmet on.
The student
Never
didn't have
mind.
a helmet on.
Okay.
That's
yes. Okay. You're right. You're right. In the first picture I showed, the guy did not have a helmet, and I'll tell you why. We had a strict rule at the drop zone. Students wore helmets and instructors wore helmets, even on a tandem skydive. You had to wear a helmet. Your student, not a helmet, but at least a leather. We had these things called frap hats, leather aviator hats, right?
Yeah.
So we had to have head protection. But the first picture that I shared with you out of the caravan, that guy was in a band called the Ghetto Billies, okay? And the band came out to make skydives and shoot a music video. And they did not want to have their faces covered up with helmets and all that. And they did not want us having helmets on and covering our faces up. So we allowed them to jump without a helmet, and the instructors were allowed to jump without a helmet because it was that they made. If you go on YouTube, and look up Ghetto Billies, Ghetto Billies.
Oh,
they have a music video that I'm in a bunch of times, and we on the drop zone with their skydive and with them playing in the hangar, and we had a big cookout and a big party. So if you want to see the Ghetto Billies music video on YouTube, you can check that out. And that's where that picture was taken from.
Okay.
And from the name of the song is Hiding Out. Ghetto Billies Hiding Out. And you can see a video that we shot and produced and made on the drop zone. And it's in the video. Because somebody called the cops on us for making too much noise, for having a band in the hangar.
That's cool.
Really?
All right. Enough of that shit. I guess skydiving is airplane related, so it's not too far off track.
No, it isn't.
It's all good.
Okay.
It's kind of like
It's okay. It's airplane.
At least you land every time.
Yeah, you can't help it.
Mike, they
You can't help it.
You can doing that now, though, right?
You're gonna land. If you leave an airplane, you're gonna land. One way or another. You're coming
You're
down.
gonna land another one way or another. Takeoffs are optional. Landings are mandatory forever.
Well, it was.
Well, I know we talked about this before. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, Len, I think on a late night thing. You know, I got like 4,000 takeoffs, but I only got a couple hundred landings, man.
How do you figure?
You didn't jump every time.
Thousands and thousands of takeoffs in airplanes, but I only have like 100 landings in airplanes. I'll never get in.
No, in airplanes.
Oh,
Yeah, in airplanes, but you still land. Yeah. Whether you land on your arse
Well,
or whether you
over
land on your
4,000
wheels is
times.
your choice.
In an airplane, I have 4,000 takeoffs in airplanes. I don't have 4,000 landings in airplanes.
That's it. I get it. No, I understand.
Yeah.
I get you. Yeah, I get it.
This is back to RC, but my brother, he built a new airplane. My buddy Len, he was there with him we always took Len out for the first time just in case stuff was real bad or whatever. Well, he takes off and the damn thing climbed like a bitch. And my brother's screaming, "It won't come down, it won't come down, it won't come down." Len says, "I have never seen one get stuck up there yet."
That's true.
I was laughing so hard.
Yep, they never get stuck.
And then he tells
It
him,
won't come down. Don't worry, it'll be here soon enough.
he just tells him, back off the throttle. Because my brother hit full throttle. Then when he just freaked out and wasn't, he's like, back off the throttle. He pulls the throttle back and the nose comes down and, it ain't going to fly with it on idle or whatever. But yeah, that was so funny. He was just all up. First flight on that airplane. It won't come down. It won't come down. I ain't never seen one stuck up there yet.
When you guys were talking earlier about the flight simulators and not having the same perspective or view, we had that problem in our EAA group for full-size aircraft when we wanted to use Microsoft Flight Simulator on the computer.
Yeah.
And especially when you're setting up for landing pattern, you look out the side window so you can see the runway. And so what we did is we built a flight simulator with 3 monitors, 2 on the side, like your side windows. And then you could come in, add the full yoke and the pedals and everything. Yeah. And when you come in, you could look either left or right, and you'd be just looking like you're looking out the window of the plane.
Yeah. I wondered about that because that's how you set up, your landings. You got to look to see that runway, right, off to your left or, they usually try to. I have landed off to my left, but yeah, I mean, that would be tough to know if you flew out far enough to make that first turn.
Yep, and this worked perfectly for that.
There goes Dennis. He said goodbye. But yeah, that's a good idea because I wondered how you do that. But
we bought a better graphics card that could support 3 monitors.
Oh, okay.
And then we set it up so that you had the views of the looking out the side windows. We set that up in the software, but that worked perfectly.
How do you load real flight onto a? How do you load real flight onto a laptop without having to load the discs?
You gotta be able to load a disc, man.
No, you can make an ISO file and put it on a thumb drive.
I don't know. Tom can probably speak best to that since he owns every version of Real Flight that was ever made. So let Tom tell Len how to do that.
Well, there are a couple of ways. If you have a remote drive that can plug into the USB, that's probably the easiest way to do it. Or like Rusty said, you can turn it into an ISO file and then put it on a thumb drive and download it that way.
Okay. My wife to do it. She's the computer wizard, not me.
Yeah, a lot of laptops where they had the drive, the CD-ROM drive that would eject out of the laptop, have a place you can plug in a USB cable, and then you can just connect that to your laptop, and then you have a drive to download software with.
Yeah, next time I talk to my cousin, I'm going to ask him what setup he's got at home. I know he's got thousands of dollars in it, but he worked for the FAA, and he gave all the damn test rides and shit for jets and all this. Well, now then he went to work for Lear Gates, and he gave test rides for the pilots there that because he could speak Spanish and he could give them. But once he retired, he bought this system, and I forget how many airports around the world he's landed in. But
hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, Tom finished telling Len how to do this real flight thing. Hold on.
It's okay. He's giving it to me. I got it.
So this is another device that you can get, and it has the connector for either a hard drive or, any kind of drive. It's got a USB cable and a power cable, and then you can take any, CD-ROM or DVD drive.
Okay.
Let's see if I can. I guess I need to back up a little. So this plugs into the back, into that connector. And then this operates remotely through the USB cable to your computer.
Okay.
Yeah, I get the right. There.
Okay.
So you can buy that device also. And all it is it converts the USB signal to your normal drive signals.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
Hey, Len. By the time you bought all that stuff, it'd be cheaper just to buy a new disc and put it in your laptop.
A lot easier.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe.
A lot easier.
Buy a refurbished desktop. Or just buy a refurbished desktop and load it that way.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
No problem.
Who's yawning? Who's tired?
It was me. It's me.
Okay. We'll forgive you.
Charles?
Yeah, it's
You've
just
been building. You must.
It's almost 1 for here, so.
Charles, you've been flying?
No, my parks are closed to vehicles. Did you guys hear
Closed?
that? Yeah, they're closed to vehicles. So, yeah, I hadn't flown in. I wish I could find one.
I think my club will let you lock the gate behind you. Only members can go in.
Hey, somebody asked me how I'm feeling.
How are you
feeling?
How are you feeling?
Well, I meant to share this story earlier when we started out, but I forgot about it. Friday, we were flying kites. I was flying kites with the kids in the front yard, and I was helping Emma get her kite up. Now, I was standing on the apron of the driveway, which we have a 6-foot ditch that runs, right? I got a 3-foot pipe that goes under my driveway for water. And I fell off the top of the driveway and went into the ditch. On the way down, I scraped up both my legs pretty bad and laid there groaning for about 10 minutes. Till the Sam thought I was dying. I wasn't dying. I was just hurt. I fell like 6 feet off the driveway, right? From the driveway to the sick flying a kite with Emma, and I'm backing up. Boom! Down I go. Scrape my legs on the driveway, laying in the ditch, which of course it had rained Friday morning, so it was wet. So I was soaking wet, hurt and old and crippled up in there, just groaning.
What Emma say?
Emma stayed with me while Sam went in the house and got Mom, and she was just like, "Daddy, are you okay?" And I was like,
Wow.
It hurt. I didn't break anything. I just hit the ground hard, 6-foot fall into the grass. It was grass, but I scraped the hell out of my legs and ankles. And yeah, I meant to share that with you guys in the beginning there. It was pretty funny. It was a good fall, but it hurts falling down when you're old.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're not 19 anymore.
Older.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's what I always
broke my
said.
back.
Flying kites. We're flying kites, man. And I stepped off the driveway like an idiot and fell in that damn ditch, man.
Oh, it's too bad.
Well, it's because
That's what I always said.
you're more interested in the kite than what you're doing.
Yeah, that's it, Len. I was watching the kite, trying to keep the kite in the air, and I backed up,
Exactly.
and I stepped right off into nothing. Just stepped right off into nothing, man. And
Hey,
bam!
I've been doing this. Yeah, I've been doing this stuff my whole life. How do you think I got like this?
Well, aviation related because it's a kite story. But I thought you'd get a kick out of me in my ass, man. I was laying there like a lump. I was laying there like a lump, just moaning. And Sam was really freaked out. And he's like, I'm going to go get Mama. And of course, my wife come out and see me laying in the ditch. And she's like, Mike. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just really sore. And I feel real stupid right now.
I'm
okay. I'm just taking a
trying to
nap.
get my composure.
Let me tell you, man, falling 6 feet didn't bother me when I was 20 years old, but being, 53 now, I'm scared of breaking a hip when I fall down now.
Yeah, I know.
Do not do that.
Yeah. So anyway, funny story. Kite flying, man. I got hurt flying a kite.
Hey, Mike.
No kite injury.
Not one of your better landings.
No. Not at all.
There you one of them buttons.
Oh man.
Let me see if I can hoist my leg up here, man. You want to see that?
Forgot to pull the parachute, right?
Where's it at? Oh, let me see if I can get this.
I don't think it had time to open.
Holy shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Good job.
You're gonna fall again.
Oh.
Hey, Mike,
Wow,
next
looks like
time
it's,
have your wife show you how to shave your legs.
Or not.
Well, the worst part is that's exactly where I laid my Honda 750 down and took a whole big flap of skin off my leg back in 1990. So it's very thin skin there because I lost a lot. And it hit that driveway, scraped me right on the exact same spot. So, kites
Last year I was on a roof.
flying is dangerous. Say it again.
So last year I was on a roof, and most of these roofs up here are PVC. They're white, and they have walking rubber things put down. Well, it snowed, and couldn't see the rubber walkway. And up there with three other guys, and I'm in the lead, and there was a T, I guess, and I kept going straight. When my feet hit that damn PVC roof, I had my tool bag over my shoulder, and it weighs about 35 pounds. It spun me around, and that damn tool bag acted like one of them hammers you spun. It spun me like 3 times. My feet went out, and I fell wham on this roof. I thought I freaking died. Knocked the wind out of me. They're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, I can't even speak or anything. But I landed with my elbow bent into my ribs. And I finally got up, and it's like, all right, let's get back to work. I'll let
But
you
we're running a kite when you did. Were you flying a kite or a model airplane when you did it?
No.
That would have added style points to it. You'd have got 10 points for falling instead of.
Well, I flew around and then my feet flew out.
I mean, flying kites and doing it.
I mean, I was just walking.
How the hell? Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, man.
But yep, you get old and you don't bounce anymore. When I was a kid racing motocross and shit, I'd hit the ground, I'd jump up, jump back on that bike and take off. If I came off of one of them things now, you could come back 6 months later and I'd still be laying there going, oh.
Well, yeah, Steve, I think that was my whole point of sharing the story with you guys was, I fell off my driveway and it hurt really, really bad falling down into that ditch.
Did you swear at all?
No, I just groaned a lot, man. I just laid. I
good for
groaned.
you.
I groaned a lot.
There.
The kids were
Yeah, the kids were there.
there. It sucks. I haven't been hurt in a long time, So it just made me realize, getting older sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like you said, man. Like you said, Steve, as a teenager or whatever, man, I haven't been put down like that in a while, man. And it just made me realize I better slow down a little. And the next time I'm flying kites with my kids, I better make sure where my feet are at. That's all.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it leaves you in shock, doesn't it? I've had a couple of falls, and it leaves me in shock for a little while. It's hard.
Yeah, you're like,
but
damn kids being able to bounce back and stand right up.
No kidding.
Now feels harder now.
Useful little bad them for having resilient bodies and being able to absorb all that shock all the time. And yeah,
well,
I'll tell you,
it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at our age. I slipped on a piece of flooring when I was floor basement, and it took me 6 months to recover from it because I just pulled a groin so bad. It was like, holy crap, I can't even walk hardly. That was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
It just took it right out of me.
That's part of what slowed my recovery down. I've had a couple of falls, and it's tough.
Yeah, it just kills you. Yeah, we're not young anymore. We don't bounce like we used to.
should guys like us even be using power tools anymore to build model airplanes and flipping propellers?
Don't even go there.
Should we be
Yeah,
using
don't even go there.
props?
I'll tell you what,
even go
last
there.
week, I'm so old.
Hey,
I'm so old. Last week, I hurt my back sleeping. I went to get out of bed and I couldn't straighten up. And I'm like, what the hell did I do? I hurt my back sleeping. I guess I was doing backflips or something. I was doing them in bed because I couldn't walk for almost 2 days.
yeah.
I mean,
You just got it.
think about it, though, guys. All about it took me one careless misstep to fall in that ditch. But think about and the sharp blades and the stuff that we use to build model airplanes.
Oh God, yeah.
Just one careless thing, and you've cut yourself, or you've wrapped your finger up in something, or even starting air.
I know.
It got me thinking. If I'm stupid enough to fall off a driveway flying a kite, I better be more careful using power tools and starting these planes and stuff.
Oh, it's true. What are you gonna do the next time you're?
Well, that's like.
Hey, Mike.
Go ahead, Russ.
Stan Powell with Metrolina in Huddersville. Stan, he did exactly what you're saying. He put his hand in a prop a couple of years ago, and I don't think he flew for a long time. He cut it through tendons and ligaments and everything in his right hand. And
you guys
just a second. One second he was in fine shape, and the other second he was debilitated.
So that's my point, and that's why I wanted to share that story about falling off the thing. Is we all, we got to be careful, but especially the power tools and starting props, to have a safe season and everybody be safety conscious and stuff like that. Because just in 1 second, I went from enjoying to laying in a ditch groaning. That's how fast stuff happens. So
you know these new scalpels you can get that you put on and you lock in place, and they're super sharp.
Yeah.
A couple months ago, I was rough cutting ribs out, sitting out in the front room watching TV on a coffee table, or not a coffee table, a TV tray table thing. And I'm cutting them out, sitting there in a pair of sweats, barefooted and shit. I'm cutting, and the knife grabbed and slipped out of my hands and flipped around and stuck me in the top of the foot. That whole blade buried. That whole blade buried down in my foot. Oh my God! I pulled it out. Blood is squirting out. Just. I'm like, I go in the bathroom, and you think there was a damn murder scene in my house. I had blood in my front room carpet, down the hallway, all over the bathroom tile. It was in the tub. It was on the John. It was every place till I finally got that damn thing.
Like a massacre.
To stop bleeding.
It was like a massacre in your house, huh?
Yeah. I couldn't. Like, damn. I don't think I have much clotting agent in my blood anymore or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Talking about being careful with tools. I'm just cutting away watching TV and shit, and that thing slipped out of my hand and stuck me in the foot. But I'll tell you what,
you got to move your
are sharp.
Oh yeah, I dropped that knife off the table in the shop many a time, and I have to move fast to get the hell out of the way of it. They go from the table to the floor real quick.
Yeah, well, my dumb ass moved right into it, I think. Because when it flipped out, I jumped and moved, and boom, right in my foot. So. Oh, well.
But that's how easy it happens. Doesn't take much.
Yeah, doesn't take much.
Samantha said she always knows when I'm hurt because I swear like a trooper.
Now, was you drinking at the time, Steve? I mean, is that the full story or not?
No, I haven't drank in over 30 years, so.
Okay, so you wasn't drinking or smoking or anything, right?
I was probably smoking my cigarettes.
Lucky.
Okay. So then you wasn't sleep deprived either, right?
None of that wacky tobacco.
But we were at the Nats our second year, me and Samantha and I, and a gust of wind came up and blew her airplane underneath the camper. The one, it ripped off half of the awning where there's like these big things that sets on towards the bottom on the camper.
Right.
It broke that, and it was whipping around. So I go and grab it to try to keep it from beating the shit out of the camper. And when I did, the little arm thing that you slide out to keep it tight or whatever, let loose, came down and pinched my finger.
Yeah.
And it grabbed
Ouch.
it. I thought it was going to cut my finger off. And Samantha said I let out a scream. And I don't remember that. But then she said, you were just swearing up a storm. God damn son of a bitch. And I'm just screaming, trying to get this thing off my finger. And then all the people in the park.
I bet you scream like a bitch.
Yep, they all come running because they said, holy cow, we heard that way over there. But it pinched my finger so hard that on the top and the bottom, you could see the bone where it had pinched the skin so tight. Then my finger all swelled up when I was at the nap.
Wow.
But yeah, I thought it was going to cut my finger off.
Everything at our age is about safety. You have to be safety minded all the time, and it's hard to do.
Yeah.
You know what the most dangerous thing is in your house? Your basement stairs.
My wife.
That's the second most dangerous thing in your house.
That's true.
She'll throw you down the
If you have stairs in your house. Yeah, exactly. But I'll tell you, I've had a couple of buddies now that have fallen down the stairs in their older age. They're never the same again. Don't do it. Hold on. Always. There's no excuse for not holding on.
Yeah, that's true.
Guys think as we get older, your depth perception and everything isn't as good. And when you go to walk down the stairs, one mistake, and it can be a life changer. Don't do it. Hold on.
Though.
How old are you, Len?
58. I'll be 59
50,
summer.
You're 58. Then I'm 5 years better than you. I'll say.
Okay. All the things, don't do them.
Well, hey, Len, you know that
I go down.
An old guy gave steps and stuff their names because at the bottom it's called a landing.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, that's what it's called. That's right.
And you want it to be a soft one every time. I want to land when I get to the bottom of the stairs like I'm landing my stunter. Smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not what
I don't want to bounce. What plate were you watching? Huh?
All of them.
Oh
boy, oh boy.
Oh my God.
How many hey, wait a minute. How many of those kokanees did you drink?
Oh,
I think you had a couple.
Chops, man. I'm just
I know. I think you had a few too many kokanees. Oh man,
that was too easy. That was too easy. I had to get you.
All of them. You got me.
Soft don't translate from Canadian to American.
Yeah.
I have a question, you guys. I have a question, you guys. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Has anybody tried that one bell crank where the rod goes all the way through to the top of the wing, and then it has a horn on the top, and so the push rod is a straight shot to the flap horn?
I never have. I know that's what Bob Hunt likes.
Yeah, I want to find out where to get those at. I want to try it.
Give Bob a call. You got his number?
All right. Yeah, I have his number. I spoke to him a couple of days ago.
Yeah, he'll tell you how to make that up. I know you got to solder something so that it actually turns that rod and everything. It's not. It doesn't float like they normally would, because that bell crank's got to be somehow fastened to that rod. And I never looked into how to make one like that, but I guess they say it really works good.
Yeah, according to Bob Hunt, it's a more linear throw.
Put this in, Charles.
I might put in my new Strega. My new Strega is still under construction, and so.
Why don't you just use a 4-inch Morris bell crank?
Well, I have that, but the pivot rod is just, I think it's longer, and then you put a horn on the top of that, and it has a slot, so you can kind of vary the measurement from the pivot point to where the push rod hooks up to, so you can actually adjust it in a lot of ways. So
Okay.
I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting idea. I know Sparky had talked about that setup because someone was making them besides Bob Hunt, and I know Sparky just thought it was just too heavy.
Yeah, I don't.
But I was just
I don't know if Bob
thinks
makes
everything's too heavy.
but Bob's used
Yeah,
them.
well, there is a. I understand it's heavier, but it might have a benefit that is worth it, you know. And the Strega, big thick wing, even if it's a little bit heavy, the plane can handle that, you know, a little extra weight.
Yeah.
It's a 3-inch wing.
Right.
That's right.
Might be
3-inch thick.
But one thing about it is, though,
Yeah,
Charles,
it's a 3-inch thick wing.
Yeah.
It's a thick wing.
It's right on 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right on 3.
The one thing about it is, being that thick, you may have the opposite angle. The reason why they run that out is to keep it flat to the height of the flap horn.
Right. Exactly. I know that's the benefit of it. You're right.
So yeah, you might wanna ask Bob Hunt about it. He'll tell you where you can get them or whatever. I don't think he makes them, but he used them or something. I'm not sure who makes them. But he says they work good.
Yeah, it's a more linear throw.
I like
Most of my planes.
I like what Dennis Admission does with his. He comes off the bell crank, goes to the top of the horn like normal. Then he puts the push rod at the top of the horn also on the opposite side, and then goes to the elevator. Because it makes the control softer. Because you're not moving from down halfway. You're getting all the leverage to move that elevator. And they're all hooked together. So
I'm not sure if I understand how you describe Dennis's
okay.
crank. I'm not sure if I understand.
Most of the time
he's using ball links, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Using ball links and putting ball links on each side and putting the screw through the center of it, keeping it in line on the top hole.
Okay, so he's okay.
Okay, on your horn, you got some.
So he's running both connections off the same hole.
You come from the bell crank to the top of the horn, and then you drop down half inch, and then you go from that back to your elevator.
One hole.
Right.
Which is at a half inch. And then now that gives you 1-to-1. If you go to the top of this, and then go from the top to the elevator and drop that down 1 inch, still gives you 1-to-1, but the mechanical advantage is a lot easier on a plane or whatever.
Now I understand. I understand now. I got that.
So
that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds very interesting.
But yeah, I know that was somebody else was talking about doing the one you did, coming up through, going straight to that horn, and then hooking their elevator from that back. And that gives you a straight line on everything.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that
Same
last part. I
through.
was just thinking about a straight line to the flap horn.
Right. So, but there's different ways you can do it. But, you can talk next time Dennis is on, you can ask him about that.
Y'all ready to call it a night?
What type of horn are you using, Charles?
I mean, like an inch. I think it's an inch and a half at the flap, and then I have the slotted elevator horn in the back.
I always use rhino horn.
It's adjustable.
You got the angle on it, or is it a straight horn, or has it got the angle in it?
It has the angle on it.
Okay.
It has the angle on it. It's Tom Morris, inch and a half, angled back
I know
flap
the
horn,
one. Yep.
and then slotted. And slotted. I think it's a 1 inch slotted in the elevator.
I'm scared of those.
Really?
You're using
Never had a problem.
slotted one?
I've heard of so many people who have had one slip in one airplane. I'll never use one.
I have one airplane that I'm using it on. On my Thunder Gates, where I have the slotted horn on the elevator.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never needed it, so I don't use it.
You want to make a hatch on both sides of that on the fuselage, so you can always get at it. You always want to maintenance it and check it.
Well,
That's a good idea.
The problem people have with that is that they don't put a washer between that slotted shaft and the ball link.
Right.
So when they tighten it down, the ball will then spread that slot open and it pulls out. But if you put a washer there, it can't do that.
It's a good idea.
The other thing is they crank down too hard on it. You're not supposed to over crank down too hard on that ball link.
Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Yeah, so by putting a washer there, then you don't have that ball pulling.
Yeah, okay, so how? Yeah, and what is the actual amount of tightness that you're supposed to use? What's the difference between too tight and not tight enough?
You gotta be able to. You tighten it up that you're tight, but you should still be able to swivel easily. That link is on the ball link. You got it feeling that it's tight and it's and it has a binding to it. That means you mushroom the ball link into the crevice itself.
Yeah. You don't have to tighten it that tight.
You mushroom the ball link, and now it will not move. Then now it's going to be binding on you.
I always put a nylon lock nut on the other side of the ball link, so I don't have to jam it down.
What you mean? Okay.
Well, I've never had a failure, but I think what the failure is when that square nut gets out of that slot. If that square nut is turned, it rotates 90 degrees, it can go right through that slot. That square nut on the back end has to stay horizontal to stay in that track. And I think that's what the problem is.
What it is that wall spreads that open and allows that thing to turn.
That's why I made a hatch on the tail section so I could always get at it. But I also made another hatch. I made my canopy removable so I could also get at the bow crank there at the linkage. And always.
Let me see your removable canopy. I want to see that.
I have that on my Thunder Gates. That's not on this.
Okay.
That's not on this.
Well, when you get
on my Thunder Gates, I made a removable canopy, so I can remove it, and right at that point there, I can get right at the bell crank, and I can get right at the horn, and I can check everything and adjust it. And if I wanted to adjust it, because you may want to adjust the lengthening of the rod or shorten of the rod, and make adjustments with that, so you can actually get to it. The same with the tail, because if you try to just take it at one end and turn that rod, you're going to twist that horn.
Hey guys, listen up. My computer is kind of starting to lose its
Yeah.
lunch bit by bit right now.
Okay.
Before it blows completely, I'm just going to go ahead and sign off
Monday.
and say good night
Yeah,
to
I
the
am too.
YouTubers.
It's 1:30.
Okay. Yeah.
Charles, on
Thanks,
Monday.
guys. Thanks,
Good night, guys.
thanks,
Charles,
Rusty.
on Monday,
All right.
I'll take
Yeah,
my
y'all have a
Sunday
great
gazer
Yeah.
weekend.
down,
You
All right.
YouTubers
and
out
I'll
there,
put it in
thanks
the
a
room
lot.
here.
We
I
had
can
a
show
good
you that.
YouTube crowd. Say what?
Charles, what I'll
Let,
do is on Monday, I'll bring my
let
Sunday
Russ
gazer
and
in
them
here,
talk, but
and
let
I'll show you how I made that removable canopy in the hatch.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, thanks everybody for showing
Yeah.
up, and
Yeah.
I'll talk to y'all. Have a great weekend. Fair winds, tight lines, and don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Okay.
All right. Now, if I can find my three dots, there's the hamburger. And closing down the show. Stop live stream. All right. Good night, everybody. And there we have it. Y'all can hang out and chat as long as you want. And I'll see you next